Hi, friends. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, I just tried to plug my headphones in and it completely fell out of the plug. And
That's right. My
Didn't work.
voice
There we
sounds
go.
like this now. I'm ready to go.
you have your voice.
I want to buy you
Look
a
at you.
fish sandwich.
I'll buy you a fit sandwich. Draw a
Goodness
nice
gracious.
warm bath, pour some
You got
Cavassier,
my nice little bottle of Courvoisier.
and then I'm going to put it in the... Welcome in.
Yo.
Welcome in.
You feeling better?
I'm feeling great, yeah. I got some good sleep last night.
Right in the butt.
Yep.
wow.
What? In the butt.
Sleeping that way, huh?
I wasn't sure if I could say that or not, which is why I always cut it off.
It's not, I mean, it's not anything illegal to say.
Do you have an
Is it inappropriate? Perhaps.
Perhaps, but welcome to 105.1, the Fan Sports Network.
and any one of our single day parts.
Have you ever grown an affinity, bartender to bartender? Sorry, Danny, don't
No,
mean to
you're
leave
fine.
you out on this. Have you grown an affinity for Cavassier?
Oh, I enjoy. Listen, you have noted how I'm a Tawakaman.
You are a Tuwaka man.
That is my when I do go out, oftentimes that is my nightcap. I'll get a Tuwaka on the rocks.
Tuwaka is a great bottle of liquor that is not very expensive to have on your cabinet.
$23.95 for a fifth.
Not bad.
That is not too shabby. On the rocks for me, that'll be a good nightcap. A lot of times if I'm out, if you're looking for a warm beverage, you do a little Tuwaka and some hot apple cider. Throw in a little cinnamon and nutmeg and some whipped cream. You got yourself a hot apple pie.
I
Tuwaka makes a fantastic sidecar.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Yes. But then also Courvoisier or a nice Hennessy or a brandy. If a place that I'm out at does not have the Tuwaka, then I will go with a brandy neat.
One of my
for my
all-time
nightcap.
favorite cocktails is the Sazerac. I absolutely love a Sazerac rye whiskey. Not a big rye whiskey guy, but I love the Sazerac. The Peychaud's bitters I'm really into. Well, I started having Sazeracs, half rye, half Cavassier. And boy, that changed the world. That changed my life forever.
This is going to be a really hard pivot. Good luck with this one.
Danny's going to talk about tequila.
Pour some
No.
Cavassier out, my
you
friends.
might want to pour a drink. I've mentioned having a really tough time this summer, a little bit on social media. And yesterday I said something that made me feel pretty awful. It's such a minor thing, but it kind of jacked me up the rest of the show. This is like you're not tuning in. You're gonna get slammed in the face with this. So sorry about that. Let me just kind of say that. I mentioned a story about switching to golf and giving up basketball, and I mentioned my wife, and I'm going through a divorce right now. And the reason I'm saying this is I don't want to dance around it anymore because it makes me feel really weird. And here's a bit of a trigger warning for you. I came really close to doing something you don't come back from this summer. And I don't like dancing around that stuff. And I don't want to really try to avoid it anymore. And I sound emotional because I am. And I don't want to have to pretend that I'm not going through that. I don't want to have to pretend that I wasn't severely broken and that I could just not have to pretend that anymore. That's basically what I want to say. So if you hear me say, I'm not going to say my wife anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to pretend that that's there anymore. I don't want to dance around it because to be honest, it messes me up. And I don't want to have to feel like I'm talking about something that's not there. I don't want to feel like that I have to put up this whole thing that's not there. So I know that's just a completely, totally derailed thing. But I told Harris I wanted to do this because I felt really weird yesterday.
Well, I think something that I really love. I had this wonderful conversation with my daughter last night. Okay, this is with old Ace and different situation, but there's a guy she really likes and he really likes her, and he finally was like, do you want to date? And she was like, you know what? As much as I like you and as much as I want to date you, I am not going to, because anytime I date somebody, it is terrible for my mental health. And for a 13-year-old in 7th grade to say that, you're kind of like, A, as a parent, you're like, nice job, dude. Well
Right?
done, buddy.
Yeah.
But B, I think we live in a world, and I see this in the kids, and you can kind of see how things will progress, that the world of mental health is something that people are now starting to realize does not judge you as a strength or a weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay to be
especially-
open with things now.
Yeah, especially with men. I mean, I think a lot of men grew up in a world of rub some dirt on it
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
quit being
Walk it off.
quit being a derogatory word here,
Yeah,
you know.
quit
No,
being a
and-
pea.
Yeah,
and to that
exactly.
point, look, I'm not going to get all preachy with anybody, but I got back to my faith, and with men, I got into a men's group, and I had community, and that pulled me out of this.
Yeah.
Like that was a real thing, and having other grown men who are going through their own stuff,
Mhm.
you know.
Odyssey does the I'm listening thing every year.
Yeah.
Kevin Love battles with this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more people in let's take sports for what we do for a living.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people, whether they're athletes or commentators or what, that go through this stuff. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
Well, and you've got there's what we talk about. You hear them on the air all the time in the spots too. Is the headspace and for mental health things like that. You've got the
Stop and breathe for
and
us.
if it starts to get really really serious, you got the 988 hotline, which hopefully it doesn't get to that point for anybody.
And I've said this to you a lot, Danny, and I will reiterate it to you, and I will reiterate it to our wonderful, wonderful listeners out there that make this station so special and make us number one in the market for a reason, is that this show is 3 hours from 10 to 1 every Monday through Friday. Whether you're in this room with us, Jeff behind the glass, or you guys listening on the Odyssey app or in your car or wherever, this is a safe space for 3 hours.
We're all together.
This is a space where we just sit here and shoot the S and talk about like how Sauce Gardner might be not as good for 2-round picks, but but it's also a spot where there was a lot of moments there, Danny, where I could have like hit you with a zinger on something you said, and it's just like, well, sometimes read the room, and sometimes those things aren't there, and I'm happy that you are in a place to be able to share that, because sometimes saying it out loud is a very, very large step.
It is, and more than that, the more I thought about it, I'm like, I'm not the only one going through something like this.
Nope, absolutely not. I mean,
And-
we got people already texting in and on the YouTubes that are like right there with you. I know exactly what you're going through.
If you're out there and you follow me on social media and you want somebody to talk to, you want some help, or you want some guidance, you just want somebody to talk to, my DMs are open. You can do that. I have no problem doing that. If you want me to help point you in the right direction for something, I have no problem doing that. I'm actively trying to be a better man. Like that's you've seen me wrestle with stuff and there's more to this than just what this particular thing.
We've been doing this show for 3 months, and
And
when
I'm-
you're talking about that, like we still have a lot to work on in sports
Yeah.
and cadences and stuff like that.
Unfortunately,
but
you
when it
came-
comes to your life, I feel like I've been doing this for 3 years.
Unfortunately, you came into it when I was probably at my worst, and it wasn't fair to you. It definitely made the show difficult for me. I had to
Sure.
sit here and pretend, and that's the thing is like, I do a job that's very public facing,
Totally.
and
You on TV, man.
I had to sit there and tap dance and pretend that everything was okay. And yesterday was just, I don't know why. Yesterday was just a weird tipping point of like when I just mentioned her, and I said it, and I was like, that doesn't feel right. I don't like that, and I don't want to have that feeling.
Sure.
I don't want to feel like I'm living some sort of fake life.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Of course.
And not that everybody needs to know this, but for me, like I needed to not do that.
Well, I asked you some questions last night.
We
that were
talked
not-
this over,
Yeah,
yeah.
that were not easy questions.
Yeah.
Is this the right medium for you? Because I'll tell you what, man, I'll give you a lot of props. I don't know if I'm doing that.
Yeah. No, look.
I don't know if that's in my
I don't
blood.
want everybody to know that. Like to be
Right.
honest, I don't want everybody to know that. It's not something, but I don't feel like for me, because the way I'm wired, because I'm weird as hell, I can't do that and feel okay.
Well, don't they say that 60% of people are not normal?
I mean,
Do the math there.
look, man, I started doing a bunch of research because I was
It's a hell
diagnosed
of a bell curve.
with ADHD
Right,
as a
right.
kid and how it can impact like personal interactions and relationships, and I went, oh no,
Yeah.
oh no, oh no.
Mhm.
And so, I'm trying to follow up with that stuff too. And it's just like, yeah, if this can be not just for me, but this can help somebody else too. Honestly, if it's just one of you, If it's just one person, that's good enough for me.
You know, it's funny. I have no issue having these conversations. You know, I think a lot of it is I've been a manager for a long time in a restaurant setting with a lot of, if I'm going to be honest with you, very volatile people. Rusty can back me up on that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, a lot of, you know, sex, a lot of kind of pushing down your feelings and dealing with Karens and stuff like that.
Well,
And
that's
so-
the one thing they always say in the restaurant biz is they're like, we don't care what happens in your outside world.
Yeah.
When you come here, you leave all that behind.
Yep. So I've had a lot of these hard conversations as an actor for a long time. You know, the biggest thing that I learned as an actor was you can't imagine how to like react to something if you don't know how you would react to it. So you got to know how you feel before you can portray someone else's feelings.
I'll tell you right now, I didn't know what this would have felt like until it happened. I'll tell you right now, that's not a feeling you ever want to have.
But I've always kind of danced around it. I don't think I'm smart enough or talented enough. But this stuff is such a big thing to me that, you know, if this radio thing doesn't work out, I'm not going back to restaurants. I might go to school and try to get be a therapist of some sort, of life coach or something like that, because I got no problem having these conversations.
You want somebody to just call you coach?
No, that'd be weird.
Well, and look, also, I'm the same way. Once I got out of restaurants, I'm like,
Skip. I'll take Skip.
I'm not going back.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
go back in there.
I'm not going back.
I still these days I've been out of it for goodness, a dozen years, 15 years. I still have restaurant nightmares.
No, fan text line. I'll even lay out the serial killer jokes for a while out of respect. No, don't.
24-hour pause.
Yeah, no,
Keep it normal.
No.
That is true.
normal.
That is
No.
true. A lot of times when you're going through stuff like this, and this, you know, I'll share this with you, Danny, and also anybody out there, routine, stability, a sense of normalcy
Also-
is some of the biggest thing you can do.
Look, man, gallows humor and the darkest humor you could possibly imagine. Look, I have a rule. Don't go in my group chat unless you're prepared to know the worst about everybody because you can go through my search history, you can go through my drawers, you can go through everything else. Don't go through the group chat.
Yeah.
Just don't, because
You've told me about the group chat, and I am not.
I have shared a little bit of the group chat with you. I'll just say this. The group chat is a very safe space because it is a bunch of prior military dudes across all races, all creeds. And it is a race to see who can be the worst human. But it's funny.
I would lose.
It's
and then,
funny.
I would lose and then just get mocked by your group chat.
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
And that's what, there's a couple guys that are in there that are like that. But that's what it is. It's guys that went through hell together, and it's like, this is how we know how to cope with that and pretend like it didn't happen. So this is totally, completely out of left field. So we're going to pivot and talk about sports now. But I
You
just
good?
wanted, I'm
Okay.
good. I just wanted to get that out there because I didn't feel like I could do the show and not have to like have that circling the drain. So I wanted to get that out there. So I appreciate you guys, everybody that's texted in, YouTube, everything else. Thank you. I appreciate you guys more than you know.
Oakley dokley.
There we go.
Got a show for you today.
Let's go.
A lot to get into today. We'll have free consultation. Speaking about Headspace, got some free consultation going on at 12:15. Get any of those questions in. Look, we always say sports, life, whatever's going on. Happy to help you. You want to get serious? We'll get serious here. I got no problem getting serious here. I once produced Primetime with Mike Lynch sitting in talking about Myers Leonard and his racial or prejudice phrase that he made.
The anti-Semitic
The anti-Semitic takes.
Yes.
Mike Lynch being a devout, practicing Jewish man.
Yeah.
Uh,
That had to be an interesting day.
he broke at 4:12 and was supposed to break at 3:55. You know, sometimes
Hey,
things are
yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
You want to get the free consultation, throw those in. We're happy to help you.
And hey, on the free consultation, we can take the jokes and we can have the fun. But if you've got something serious,
Sure, we'll hit it.
We don't need to know your name. We don't like.
No.
It's not like if there's something that we can help you talk through, man, do it. Do it. We will.
But we might have to talk about why the Eagles are doing things correctly and maybe not the Cowboys.
I
They
mean,
might need some consultation.
We know why.
Have the Bills figured things out? And I want to have a nice exploratory conversation about the expectations in the SEC as guys keep getting fired. And also, Danny,
What the hell happened last night?
you're up to date on you completed 9 passes and won a football game. We're gonna have to get into that, but we'll start with whatever the hell it is that I watched last night. I texted you while we were going through this, and I said, side note, this game is ass, and I'm out of here. Blazers lose to the Lakers. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan. right, 1019 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. You guys are lighting us up already. YouTube.com/1051 The Fan. Hang out with us, guys. We're happy to have you in on a Tuesday.
Let me go ahead and say I apologize to everybody who is casual fan out there that I said this is a great League Pass team, because that was an abomination of a game.
I apologize to no one.
Yeah.
To no one. Well, I think, and we can break down the game if you want, or we can kind of have.
We don't have to talk about it in that sense. I think Joe Simons had a great question last night in the post-game show with me. And he goes, is this game an aberration? And not just this game in general, but an aberration because they don't have Blake Wesley and Matisse Thybulle? Because that is an insane question, but it is so good because...
Well, the Thybulle part makes sense.
Blake too.
My championship dreams are shot because I don't have Blake Wesley and Matisse
season, nobody
Thybulle.
would have said...
Yes.
Exactly.
100%.
Thybulle, yes.
But here's
Blake
the thing.
Wesley, no.
Those two guys have been like talismans to them.
Sure.
Every great team has these guys. They do.
Totally.
Where they can be.
Caruso was the guy for the Thunder last year. Like we kept watching him.
The Heat had like
sixth best player on that team.
Yeah, the Heat had Udonis Haslem for years.
Totally.
Like, it can manifest in very different ways. The pulse of your team isn't always your best player.
Right. Like it shouldn't be. You won't go very far
because that guy's already having to carry the burden of being the best player.
Right.
Like that's part of it. And those two guys, when they came in the game, they played like absolute psychopaths. And when Blake went down before he got hurt, I think he had played just under 10 minutes. He had 3 steals and like 2 deflections, and the work rate he was playing at was contagious. You didn't see that last night.
No, and I know that this metric is kind of a wishy-washy metric in plus minus. Only one Blazer last night was a plus. Do you know who that was?
It was Caleb, wasn't it?
It was Caleb Love, who got called out by his coach at the end of the game. Look, I don't take much stock into this game, mostly because it always opens up the larger conversation to me about the NBA. Like, this is the problem with the league. It's like you're telling me that Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves aren't playing. This isn't a Blazer thing. This is a league-wide problem. That Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are not playing and they win, like that does not compute to me. Because I'll tell you what, if I'm watching the Dodgers and they're playing the Rockies and you tell me that Shohei and Mookie aren't playing, I expect them to lose. And basketball just doesn't live in that world, and that is why that product drives me absolutely bonkers.
Here's also why it's great. I've said this so many times over the last 14 years. The last dude on the bench is so much better than you even remotely realize.
I agree. Like
the difference is consistency. That is the difference between don't get me wrong, there's certainly talent differences when you're talking about like all-time greats. When you're talking about LeBrons and Giannis's and Jokic's, yeah, those guys are all talent is overwhelming, physical profile is overwhelming. But those dudes that are in roster spot 14, 15 or they're on a two-way, they are so unbelievably good. You have no idea how good these guys are at basketball. But the sliding scale between after you get past superstar and like high level star, the once a time all-star all the way down to the end of the bench, the difference is consistency.
Right.
That's where, because anybody's capable. Like we brought this up on the show last night. Jeff, do you remember Yogi Ferrell with the Dallas Mavericks? Scoring 30.
Yeah,
he
was a much shorter-lived Jeremy Lin.
But yes, he got an actual NBA deal because he went out there and cooked Portland for 30 in a Mavs win.
Yep.
And that was like he stayed in the league for like 4 years off of that. And that's the thing is like for Nick Smith Jr., he's a guy who's talented, but what you saw from him last night was his best game as a pro.
I remember looking up and being like, we just got cooked by Rui Hachimura.
Whoa. GU legend Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, anyway. Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, and
God in
some
Spokane
dude named Nick Smith Jr.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, you're totally right, Danny. I don't disagree that these players are.
But it is frustrating.
But it from a product standpoint, it's brutal, dude.
See, this is where I know I'm a sicko. I did not enjoy that game. That game was ugly, but if you're and I don't want to give this to Lakers fans because it's gross, but Lakers fans right now, they are sitting there like, that's one of the coolest games I've ever seen. I saw multiple guys that I know that cover the Lakers. That were
Why?
just like,
Because their garbage players had good games
it's because you don't
against the defensive stud team who could not play a lick of defense.
and it's just there's something to that. There's something, I'm going to use a really corny word. There's something beautiful in that. Now, for me, watching it and covering this Trailblazers team, I'm like, oh, this sucks and blows at the same time. This is terrible. I do not enjoy this.
And I that's what I think makes it tough. It's like if Drew goes out there and has a bad night, he had a bad night shooting last night, okay? If he goes out there and has a bad night, you're like, okay. But when Drew has a bad night and Shaden can't hit a three-pointer if his life depended on it, nobody can hit a three-pointer if their life depended.
Two had like 3 rim out, and you're just like, oh, God.
It's just, if you see one guy struggling, you can get past that. But when all of a sudden it becomes contagious, dude, bad basketball, and this is why people crap on us for our love of college basketball. Bad
A lot of bad
basketball
basketball.
is really brutal to watch.
is.
I can watch Rockies Marlins. I can watch Jacksonville Vegas in the NFL. You know, sometimes because like you said, they're still professionals.
Yes.
They're still very, very good. But there's something about the design, the fundamental play of basketball that when it's bad, it is very hard to watch.
It's a beautiful game. It's soccer. Soccer is the
Bad
same way.
soccer
Bad
is
soccer is brutal to
brutal.
watch because the pace, the movement, everything becomes disjointed. If somebody's pitching bad or quarterback's not on target, everybody else is still moving. Everybody else
Right.
is still doing what they need to do. Like the game looks okay.
Mhm.
With basketball and soccer, because of the fluidity of the game, when it's bad, it looks really bad when it starts turning clunky. I must have used the word clunky 15 or 20 times in the postgame show last night because that's what that game was. It was clunky on both ends of the floor.
I was not lying when I texted you. I turned it off.
Oh yeah, no,
I was
don't-
enjoying Cardinals Cowboys more last
Oof,
night.
and that's tough.
Well, Troy Aikman bailed me out on
There you
that.
go.
He was just chef kiss.
And I think the ultimate question out of this, and I think it's the most pertinent question, is the one Joe asked. Is this an aberration? Is this an aberration game? Or, because I was talking to a scout who was sitting next to me during the game, and we were texting back and forth after the game. He's like, do you think that they just played down to him? And I was like, there's probably an element of that, but I also think because the rotations changed, because there's some inconsistencies. Like these guys,
We could talk about Tiago and his lineup choices all day too, if you want, because I wasn't a fan. Not going to tell you Tiago's not the guy. I don't mean that, but was not a fan of a lot of the matchups out there.
again, this is stuff that you're trying to figure out, right? Because you don't think about this real quick. You don't have Dame for the season. You don't have Blake, Tease, or Scoot probably until Christmas.
Well, I know where you're going with that. Listen to the boys in the morning,
Yeah.
and they were talking about the same thing. It's depth
But the problem is they had depth. Now they don't in the backcourt.
at all.
I mean, again, you are probably missing these guys. I mean, Blake's probably going to have surgery on his foot.
That sucks.
It's with where it's at.
That sucks.
It's one of those things where if you try to let it heal, it might. But if it doesn't, you know what you have to do then? Surgery. So you might as well just do the surgery and get it over with and go, and here's the thing, that's a 4 to 6 week recovery, but that's the recovery from the surgery and it's starting to ramp up. He's not going to just come back, so he's got to ramp back up. Scoot's got to ramp up from the hamstring. Thankfully, Tease is a thumb, so he can still stay moving.
He can't shoot anyway.
Well, no, he's been shooting the crap out of.
Just
No,
teasing.
I
Don't
know.
get fired up.
No, I'm with you. Tease, career-wise, before he got to Portland, couldn't shoot. Ever since he came back, he can't miss.
Yeah,
It's really weird.
Matisse Thybulle's been a great addition. If you don't have him out there, you definitely miss it. And a lot of it goes back to kind of just our normal stuff. It's like we don't know where the offense is going to come from.
And-
And if Drew and Shaden and Denny was okay last night, but it's not an okay shooting night. It's an okay play creation night, but it's not a great okay shooting night. So if Drew's not shooting well, Shaden's not shooting well, Denny's not shooting well, Donovan is MIA. There's nobody that's going to pick you up because Jeremy shot fine.
Yeah.
Jeremy was fine last
No,
night.
I thought Jeremy and Denny were both really
and
good.
Jeremy is probably going to be the most consistent player on the team next to maybe Drew Holiday. Maybe not offensively from
Well,
Drew, but as a
Denny.
complete pair. Yeah, as a complete package, Jeremy might be your most consistent. You know what you're going to get defensively, what you're going to get offensively from night to night, and that's the problem of just how the team is built.
And from a
Two guys can't have a bad shooting night, otherwise it's over.
and that's the thing is, and give JJ Redick and the Lakers credit because they went to a zone, the same thing the Warriors did, but they did.
I will not give JJ Redick credit.
And you know what they did? They sagged off everything. They sagged off the weak side. They gapped everything and said, we're not going to let you get to the middle of the floor. We're going to let you shoot threes until you prove you can hit them. And a couple teams have already started doing that with now 7 games. When we get to 10 games and the film starts building on Portland, expect to see what the Lakers did become the norm.
And real quick on Tiago, and we'll get out of here because we're way up against it. I am excited to see how this team responds on Wednesday. What is it, tomorrow? Today's Tuesday? Respond tomorrow against the OKC. And I know we've talked at length. Well, I think I heard the show this morning talk about it, that, back-to-backs, the next 4 opponents are all in back-to-backs for the Blazers. And I had that in my notes from last night, too. So that's kind of hard to really have a litmus test. But I thought Tiago was cool calling people out. And
that is
not just Caleb Love.
That is a new coach thing.
Yeah, but also,
every new coach does this, and then they go, maybe I shouldn't use names.
But yeah, take the names out of it.
Yeah.
But saying like there just wasn't enough defensive intensity.
Yep.
I like that. And I
Yep.
want to see how they respond to Tiago in that way.
No, for sure. I'm 100% there with you. And again, I think the question you're asking is this game an aberration, or is this something that's going to rear its ugly head more frequently?
Tune in tomorrow night.
Mm.
Tune in tomorrow
Yeah, because if
night.
you don't show up against Oklahoma City, it'll be a lot worse than that.
And they'll be on a back-to-back. I don't know if they'll sit guys. They probably won't because they're pretty young still.
Not
but
like that, they're deep.
They're deep.
Yeah.
Well, they're champs for a reason.
Yep. It happens.
When we come back, we'll slide into some college football. It is NFL trade deadline. That is going to finish up right at the end of our show.
And they're busy.
So we will keep you guys updated on that. We'll carve out a little time in the 11 o'clock hour to get into some of those trades and see if anything else doesn't come by. But a little bit of college football leftovers. Is it a good thing that you can come back in the fourth quarter all the time, or will this eventually bite you? We'll go to Athens, between the hedges, where it just means more in the SEC. But first, we'll toss it to Rust with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers off tonight after a loss last night to a shorthanded Lakers squad. They end the homestand tomorrow night, hosting the currently undefeated Oklahoma City Thunder, the only team without a loss on the season. Those Thunder in Los Angeles to face the Clippers for the second half of tonight's NBC Peacock doubleheader. Jalen Williams, no, not that one, and Lou Dort are game time decisions. The Thunder are 7.5-point favorites in the first half of the doubleheader. That comes from Atlanta. The Hawks hosting Paolo Banchero and the Magic. That one is a 5 o'clock tip. The Magic are 3.5-point favorites. NFL trade deadline coming up this afternoon, 1 p.m. Pacific. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network reporting the Jets sending cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks and wide receiver A.D. Mitchell. Sauce is under contract for the next 5.5 years. NFL Network also reporting the Seahawks acquiring receiver Rashid Shaheed from the Saints, reuniting him with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. Shaheed was second on the team with 44 catches for 499 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Cowboys have acquired veteran linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals for a 7th-round pick next year, and ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the Raiders sending wide receiver Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars for 4th and 6th-round picks. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan.
I don't know if we'll get to it today, but I'm very, very excited about the Duck-Iowa game this weekend. Just simply from a college football fan.
Do you want to know why I'm excited?
12:30 kick, baby.
12:30 kick, not the big nooner.
And you can hear right here on the Fan Sports Network. We'll have Tyson Alger.
Selfish reasons.
We'll have Tyson Alger on tomorrow at 10:30, as we always do, and we'll probably start previewing that game tomorrow. But I'm just very excited. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's just the chaos and unpredictability of college football this year, or maybe it's that I've got this job full time now, and I've kind of been thrusted into.
You have to bathe in it.
But boy, am I loving college football this year. And it starts with, all sorts of crazy different conversations about things. We can have, in the 11 o'clock hour, I want to ask the question, well, what's the crazier conference right now, the Big 12 or the ACC? We can have, that's what's going on. Who's going to win the Heisman? Who's going to the Natty? What's the college football playoff selection going to look like tonight? And so there's thousands of things to see everywhere. And Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs are a very good football team, correct? They are ranked in the top 5 for obvious reasons. They have a shot to win a Natty, as they always do, with Curb down there between the hedges. But they beat Florida
Barely.
in a way that seems kind of similar to what Georgia's been doing all year. And
Yeah.
it's not getting super behind, but getting beat in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And then finding a way to pull it out in the fourth. It happened to Ole Miss. I thought they were going to do it to Bama, and then Bama kind of said no. But they might have more talent than Ole Miss and Florida does. It might not be a might. I think they do. Is Kirby playing with fire here, or is that, can I argue, that is why James Franklin got fired and why Brian Kelly is fired and why Kirby Smart is maybe the best coach in college football?
I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I think it's both. I think you can play with fire, but if you find a way to come out of it with the fire suit on, you're okay. But Kelly didn't. Franklin didn't. And I think a big part of that is the talent. And I think a big part of that is the quarterback play. And I said yesterday, somebody texted in after I mentioned, I said,
I'm adding it to the list. You hate Gunnar Stockton.
I do. I hate Gunnar Stockton. No, it's just that he's not my Huckleberry. It's just, is he a winner? Yeah, but it's like his completion percentage is incredibly high. His touchdown interception ratio is incredibly high. Like, he's been very productive. But I just look at him. They won titles with Stetson Bennett, but I don't want that as my quarterback. But I think they can overcome that. Now, their talent is not as overwhelming as it has been in years past.
Sure.
And a big part of that is obviously NIL, leveling the playing field. We've gone through that a million times. But some of what Georgia has had, whether it's Ole Miss or Florida in the last couple weeks, is that the other team didn't make a play, not that they did. Because if DJ Lagway throws that ball 2 feet further, the game's over.
We're all screaming at the television. Everyone is screaming at
We're
the
going,
television.
oh my God. And
Yeah.
you're watching Georgia fans go full surrender Cobra going, oh crap, we're going to lose to the Gators.
And there's the DJ Lagway we were promised at the beginning of the year. Then Billy Napier's at home going, where the hell have you been?
Yes. And that
I reiterate, at home.
at home. And that's the thing is, like, this Florida team is not without talent.
Oh, God, no.
Like, they have,
Especially defensively.
yes, I mean, they have dudes everywhere. And if Lagway, again, hell, 2 feet, it might only need to be 10 inches further for that ball to be complete. It might only need to be 5 inches further for that ball to be complete. But if they complete that pass, that game's probably done.
Do you think there's a little poop down the leg with Georgia? Like, if they start coming, you're kind of like, oh, crap.
Yeah, yes.
It's like if Tom's has got the ball or Mahomes has the ball.
Yes, there's an element of
25
that.
seconds, you're like, oh, God, no.
Yes, I do think there's an element of that because they are a bit of a freight train and they have been that team and they have earned that respect. Absolutely.
I'll go back to this Gunnar Stockton thing, and not to try and convince you, but maybe we're just looking at it the wrong way when it comes to Georgia. They sent Carson Beck packing. And I think at the beginning of the year with how Miami was playing, we took a big peek at that and we're like, boy, like, what did Carson Beck do to Kirby Smart?
Well,
This guy's playing at a Heisman level.
we have a
Now you've
3-hour
seen-
show, but I don't know if we can get through that all
Now
day.
you've seen the last couple weeks of Carson Beck, and you can kind of see, like, this is not the quarterback that Kirby Smart wants. I think there's a great chance that if you gave Kirby Smart some true serum, who's playing better right now? Sorry to tangent. Who's playing better right now? Ty Simpson or Gunnar Stockton?
Ty.
Okay. If you ask Kirby Smart, would you rather have Ty Simpson or Gunnar Stockton? I bet you he says Gunnar Stockton. with true serve.
You
now
go to the
got-
guy that you know and you
He's now
it's trust.
He's building a model of the type of quarterback that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what the type of quarterback he wants is a guy that doesn't mess up, is a guy that's cool under the pressure, and here's another one. A guy that is not good enough that he's going to leave. Is Gunnar Stockton going to the transfer portal?
Not going to the NFL.
I know, but it's like if he's got eligibility,
That's a really
he stays.
but that's a really, 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 really tough needle to thread.
I understand.
You're very good. You're not great. Your physical tools aren't overwhelming, but you don't make mistakes. And again, Ty Simpson right now he's got 20 touchdowns and 1 pick. Yeah, he's completing 68% of his passes. Ty Simpson has been very.
I know he's
good.
been very good, but he is the one guy that was like this at Alabama. They benched Jalen Hurts and a natty
And,
at
honestly,
Bama. You know,
it
was Franklin's
Tua?
Yeah.
It was Franklin's downfall
Yeah.
is because he tried to thread that needle with
Yep.
Drew Aller and it was a mistake.
Yep.
And Drew Aller was not the guy. Brett Bielema is trying to thread that needle with Altmaier and it's correct. The offensive line is garbage.
Yes.
That's his problem. So it is that dangerous balance. You know, Lanning's going to do it with Moore next year if Moore comes back. That maybe having the Carson Beck or the John Mateer, Cam Ward, big time, Malik
Heisman
Murphy,
caliber, yeah.
Heisman caliber transfer, Darian Mensah, like maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I want a Gunnar Stockton.
So it's kind of funny. As you said that, I started thinking about Alabama. This is the Alabama quarterback. This is the McElroy.
It really is. It's the AJ McCarron.
Yes. Before, and that was what kind of like when all of a sudden Alabama started to go more offensive, particularly at the quarterback spot. To be fair to Alabama, that's when the new era of Alabama took off.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you're like, oh, their defense is otherworldly, but their offense, they're not just going to get you 18 to 21 points a game. They can score 50.
Right, but then that also evolved into the Tuas and the Jalens of the world and Milrose of the world, which
There was some volatility.
but their booms were way bigger.
Yes.
The booms, Jaden.
So were the busts.
Jaden Milrose's ceiling was insane compared to AJ McCarron.
Yes.
But AJ McCarron's floor was a lot higher.
A lot higher.
And I think Kirby doesn't want to deal with that.
He would rather have the very high floor, which Gunnar Stockton has a very high floor. But also we saw Gunnar Stockton in the playoff last year and go, oh no.
To be
But
fair,
you grow.
yeah,
you
and
grow.
it was only like his second game.
But also, as it pertains to the Beck versus Stockton part of it, there's volatility in Beck that's not just on the football field.
Totally. And what you love about his ceiling off the football field is leader, confident, been there.
Remember, Stetson was also a complete and utter head case who nobody liked.
Mm-hmm. And then once things went bad, then you're like, now these are all negatives.
You're like, oh, all right, see you later, bye.
It's like, are you flashy and fun, or are you arrogant and cocky?
We talked about this a little bit yesterday. The idea of like the quarterback that doesn't take the shine away from other guys.
Yeah. Gunnar Stockton does not.
Stetson Bennett was kind of one of those guys that, he started to believe his own hype. Gunnar Stockton is just going to go out there and play Kirby smart football.
Carson Beck thinks he's the best player at the University of Miami.
Ding, ding, ding,
And
ding.
he is not.
He is not.
I don't think Ty Simpson thinks he's the best at Alabama.
I haven't seen enough of Ty. Like I've watched him on the field. I would want to watch him in his press conferences and how he talks about things. But I think with what I've seen, I think I lean towards what you're saying.
And maybe to just kind of put a bow on this and go back to like Penn State's situation with Drew Aller. I don't know if Drew Aller is that guy that thinks he's the best guy on the team, but I think everybody told him, you have to be the best player on the team or we ain't going anywhere. And it turned out that he didn't have that dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you tell Joe Burrow, hey man, I know Chase and Jefferson are the dudes here, but I need you to be the best player on the field. Joe's got that moxie. He goes, okay, and does it.
It's a really good point. Rufio on YouTube said, Kelly and Franklin treat it like pro football at some level in the way that they look at potential longevity of their personnel.
Mm-hmm.
If you're honestly, I think you can say the same thing about Lanning with Nix and then with Gabriel and now with Dante.
I agree.
Those guys are guys that those aren't college quarterbacks.
They aren't.
Those are guys that you're looking at like,
Especially Bo. I mean,
Yeah.
Bo walked in and you were like, whoa, When did Oregon get an NFL quarterback? We haven't seen one since
After the Georgia game.
after the Georgia game. We haven't seen this since Herbert, and we didn't even see it with Herbert because Mario couldn't use him.
Yeah. And I think that's probably something we should look at more. Is looking at coaches and what they look at. Like Kirk Ferentz. Kirk Ferentz does not give a crap about the caliber of quarterback that he has.
Sure doesn't.
But they've got Gronowski now, who is capable of doing more stuff. And now, are they letting him? No. But is Iowa scoring more points?
One of the most dynamic quarterbacks in Iowa history.
Yeah.
Isn't that a funny thing to say?
That's a weird spot to end up. But yeah, we probably should look at that more. Again, to hit the theme of this show, the identity.
I know a coach that requires a lot from his quarterback, and it's more than 9 passes completed in a game. USC by the hair of their chinny chin. Lincoln Riley finally gets one on the road. We'll wrap up a little bit of leftovers from the college football weekend next. 105.1 The Fan. Coming up in hour number 2, we'll have a conversation about expectations in the SEC as another coach was fired. And I want to start asking questions about, like, what the hell's going on here? And do we have realistic expectations? We'll slide into a little bit of NFL, and we'll also chat some trade deadline stuff in the NFL. Seahawks pick up a guy. Colts pick up a guy. I wrote on here, the Eagles dressed as Jerry DiPoto for Halloween because they love making trades now.
Goodness gracious.
But
we even got the Jalen Phillips of it all.
Yeah, but we'll slide into what am I doing here? We're
USC.
Slide into the Big Ten. The Big Ten Conference. USC defeats Nebraska 21-17.
Didn't love that first half.
Was not cool. Did you like the second half?
Not really. But Nebraska came out.
I know you come out and you win and they do squadoosh.
Yeah.
But I did not love that football.
Nebraska came out in their all blacks, and that crowd was juiced.
And that's how you do it, man.
I mean, they got up for that game. And Jaden Mayava forgot how to play quarterback. He had been one of the most prolific quarterbacks in the entire country all season, and they confused the living daylights out of him.
Yes.
Did he forget how to pretend to be Patrick Mahomes?
He did. He did. And talking about coaches and like their expectations and their relationships, I don't know. You know this because you watch it more.
Mm-hmm.
That, how do I say this? I don't think that like Lincoln Riley doesn't like Maiyava or that they don't get along, but I don't know if they always connect on the same page.
So what's really interesting about that, I've talked to folks down there about.
Is Maiyava a better quarterback than Gunnar Stockton? Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
From a talent perspective.
As a quarterback, yes.
Is Lincoln Riley a better quarterback guy than anybody at Georgia? Yes.
Yeah.
But they're not like firing all the time.
So I think they have been until this game. This game was, for me, the one-off. And the folks that I've talked to down there, they all have told me the same thing. It was kind of shocking when I heard it the first time, was that the way Maiyava plays quarterback for Lincoln Riley, with the exception of this game, is better than the way Caleb Williams played quarterback for Lincoln Riley. Now, Caleb is certainly a better quarterback.
Yeah.
A better player, a better talent, all of those things. But the folks that I've talked to, also some version of the same thing of like, Maiyava believes in and trusts the system more than any quarterback that Lincoln has had.
And that's a huge compliment to say.
Yes, and that's why this game was such a what the hell is going on here? Now, shout out to King Miller, the fourth string running back who's a walk-on who continues to run all over teams.
What up, dude?
Good God.
Did he have more rushing yards than passing yards from Maiyava? Ooh,
No, it was
almost.
close.
Just very
Close.
close. Oh, so close.
And the crazy thing is, so for those that did not watch the game, King Miller had 18 carries for $130 and a touchdown. His longest run of the day was 16 yards.
That's horse.
He was just chunking them over and over and over again. 7 yards here, 8 yards here, 6 yards. Like, he didn't get a breakaway play, which he did in his debut 3 weeks ago. He did have a bunch of breakaways. I think he finished with like 180 yards. It was nuts. But it was to be, I don't know, blunt about it. This was Big Ten football. That's what this was. And it was terrifying because of the way the score was, but it was comforting that USC, after the Notre Dame game, was able to go out there and do this.
Yeah, we've talked about the, I keep thinking in my head, and I don't know if it's really worth getting into it, but I keep wondering, like, how many teams are actually really happy with their move to a different conference? You know,
nobody's happy.
Is Texas A&M really stoked they're in the SEC?
I mean, they are in the sense of like they're
the money and all that, but like,
and the recognition they're getting in the polls.
Right.
Same thing with Oregon. Like, they're happy because last year they go undefeated in the Big Ten. They go to the college football playoff. Like,
maybe A&M isn't great because of what they're doing this year, but like Missouri, like your schedule is now a gauntlet.
Well, except for this year.
Texas, your schedule is now a gauntlet. Are you really stoked? Yeah, the ADs and the chancellors are pumped and the TV money and all that, of course. But that was a question that I kind of started to have with USC. Like, dude, you're going to get in these fights in the Big Ten, and traditionally USC is not built like that. It's not.
Traditionally they are. More recently, they haven't.
That's
been.
what I'm talking. I'm talking the last 10 years.
Yes.
You know,
traditionally USC is built for this.
Post Pete Carroll is what I'm talking about. Has not been built for the Big Ten. It's been the flashy Pac-12, which is what we love them for. Oregon's the same way. You can ask the same question. Lanning has shown this year specifically with a team that I think is less talented than last year, that they're more built for Big Ten football this year than they've ever been. Because that's just kind of it. Because I'll ask you this question. After you watch this game against Nebraska, and I'm not trying to like look ahead, but it's a tie-in to the big game that Oregon's got this weekend. Neutral site, who's a better team, USC or Iowa? They're different.
They
got strengths in different spots.
I'm a homer.
But if Iowa plays Nebraska, Iowa wins, in my opinion. I think you agree as well.
Styles make fights.
Styles make fights. And Iowa might be able to bring that style to USC because they do it better than Nebraska, who did do well against USC.
Yes, but also USC is capable of being the best offense in the country.
Without a doubt. Iowa could throw 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Iowa has a 0% chance of doing. So
I agree, although Iowa did put up 40 last week.
They did, but go look at how they did it.
Fair.
You know what I mean? It's not this overwhelming a force of here's the best wide receiver in the country. Oh, here's another top 10 wide receiver.
Minnesota and Wisconsin also suck.
Yes.
Sun even shines on a dog's ass some days.
But and that's not to take away from Iowa.
They did put 47 on UMass.
No, that is to take
team.
away from Iowa.
Yeah, but I will say I was talking to a buddy of mine in the media who's a huge Duck guy. You guys know him. I'm not going to throw his name out there. I go, how you feeling about this weekend? He's like, not great, Bob. Not great. Like,
I'm so stoked for this Iowa-Oregon game.
And you shouldn't be, and that's not a shot at Oregon. Iowa's pretty damn good. Like, they present problems like we just talked about. Like, if Oregon, Iowa play on a neutral field. Is Oregon going to be favored? Probably. Are you going to feel good about it? No.
But it's
but
back
you're
to what-
going into Iowa, and it's like that adds another element. It's the same thing with USC going into Nebraska, going into that place, them bringing out the All Blacks and bringing the juice and the energy, and you're just like, there was a little Big Ten-iness to the game, and to see USC come out of that for once and win a freaking road game.
And I think that's why I'm so excited about this game. Can Oregon go into a Big Ten foe? An old school Big Ten red ass wishbone.
Punch you in the mouth.
Yeah,
team.
because that's the Big Ten identity. The Big Ten identity is still that. Look, Michigan can win a national championship without a quarterback. That's Big Ten. That's
Yeah.
Big Ten football.
Yeah.
Someone was trying to trash Will Howard yesterday, and I was like, no.
No. Will Howard is a significantly better college
Will
quarterback.
Howard
than
is more of a
JJ.
Pac-12 quarterback than a Big Ten quarterback.
Because remember where he came from. Big 12.
Yeah. Drew
K-State.
Aller. Drew Aller.
That's a Big Ten
quarterback.
That's a Big Ten quarterback.
Luke Altmaier, a little bit of both. Got a little
he's-
Pac-12 in him.
To borrow a phrase, he's got some seasoning.
He's got some seasoning.
He's got some
Well,
Pac-12
he'll-
seasoning.
He'll
You know what?
stand there like a statue
Yeah.
and chuck the ball.
But he's got some Pac-12 seasoning. It's the what is it? The Danos seasoning. That's the Pac-12 seasoning. Like,
Lowry's.
yeah, you got a little sugar and spice to you.
See, now, to borrow another phrase, I was listening to the boys this morning.
I was listening to the boys this morning.
Yeah, and they said, and they made a valid point that with these Oregon Ducks and going up against Iowa, Oregon is not a one-dimensional team
No.
where they only do things one way. They can get you in a shootout, but they also can, if you're going to try to slow things down against them, they can get down and dirty in that battle with you too.
Go Beavers.
Yeah.
I've seen it live. I've seen it live.
Oh no. Oh no.
Let's get into this conversation. Some more expectations. We don't need to deep dive into why Hugh Freeze got fired at Auburn. I think we know why, but the SEC is starting to get to a point where they may have unrealistic expectations.
Yes.
What should the expectation be in the SEC? Is 8-4 the new 10-2? Or is 8-4 not acceptable? Loaded hour number deuce. Stick with us. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers are off tonight after a loss last night to a depleted Lakers squad. They end the homestand tomorrow night hosting the currently undefeated Oklahoma City Thunder. They are the only team currently without a loss on the season. Those Thunder, they're in Los Angeles tonight, though, to face the Clippers for the second half of the NBC Peacock doubleheader. Jalen Williams, no, not that one, and Lou Dort are game-time decisions. The Thunder are 7.5-point favorites. In the first half of the doubleheader, that one comes from Atlanta. The Hawks hosting Paolo Banchero and the Magic. 5 o'clock tip, the Magic are 3.5-point favorites. We've got the NFL trade deadline coming up this afternoon. 1 o'clock Pacific. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network reporting the Jets sending cornerback, Sauce Gardner to the Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks and wide receiver A.D. Mitchell. NFL Network reporting the Seahawks acquiring receiver Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. That reunites him with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. Shaheed was second on the team with 44 catches for 499 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Cowboys acquiring veteran linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals for a 7th-round pick next year. And ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the Raiders sending receiver Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars for 4th and 6th-round picks. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday mornings 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 a.m. Firm of Harris and Meringue. Not ambulance chasing, but plenty of rides in one.
From the hips down, man, it's a disaster.
The Firm. Patrick Harris.
And someone crashed their car on the I-5 bridge.
Danny Meringue.
I've had some bad runs.
On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080. The Fan.
All right, hour number deuce. If you missed any of the first one, you can download that Fan Podcast, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcast, 1051thefan.com. As I said, the Odyssey app, youtube.com/1051thefan. Go back and listen if you like. If you missed the boys in the morning, you can hit that. If you missed Isaac and Suk making fun of Swigard yesterday, you can go back and check that out. The Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up this hour, we'll get into kind of some conference conversations, then we'll slide into the NFL because I want to know if that big old afternoon game on the NFL on Sunday meant anything, if we're changing our tune or if we're totally happy. Plus also at 11:45, we'll get to some new NFL trade stuff. Danny, you're looking at me like the Twitters are up.
The thing that I just mentioned in the break. It sounds like the Jets might trade Quinnen Williams, and just like that, the Jets have now also traded 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys.
Whoa! Whoa! That defense still sucks.
Is Jake still in there, Jeff?
Jake is in there.
Oh,
He
no,
is not
Jake.
happy.
I'm sorry, Jake.
He just dropped an F-bomb.
Nom, nom, nom.
Oh, my goodness. 2 cornerstones for the Jets in Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams traded away.
A live look at Jake right now.
But why? Someone tell me why, damn it! Does he have no conscience? Does he have no heart? Do you have no soul? What the hell is the meaning of this? Damn his soul, bastard! He's gonna rot in hell for what he did here tonight.
Smiles and glory holes.
Dude, Jets fans ready to check the buildings in New York right now. Check the buildings. People are worried. We'll have some conversations about that at Web Gems today, and the Eagles are still doing stuff, and we'll still see if there's any more people on the move. But on the heels of Hugh Freeze being fired, okay, the SEC has fired Billy Napier at Florida, Les Miles at LSU, and Hugh Freeze at Auburn. Now, if you add Alabama and Georgia, those are the natties in the SEC since I've been around.
Mm-hmm.
Of me really watching college football. I understand that natties are what we play for, but does the SEC not realize that there's only one?
No.
Do they think there are 4 national championships every year?
They are definitely not Highlander.
Like,
There
No.
can be
only one team wins this.
Mhm.
And I
But
understand,
they all expect to.
and I get that, and you should have that. But I guess what is very, very confusing, and I'm already reading some thoughts from you guys that I'll get to them in a second. But like, don't you just want to be? Is living in the Dan Lanning world not good enough? Where like he is building a program that will be in the playoff every year and is gonna have a chance to win it every year. He's gonna get one. If he goes to the playoff every year for the next 10 years, he's gonna win a natty.
Or he's in James Franklin.
I doubt that.
But like you said, there's only one.
There's only one.
And I'm not saying that to anti-Duck. I'm saying that to everyone. It's how many head coaches do we have in college football right now who have won national titles?
3. Dabo, Kirby, and Day. Carry the 2 till Edo comes to Oregon.
to Orgeron State. But no, there is, and we've talked about this a little bit before. Somebody at somebody at LSU's right now. Well, look at Indiana. Look at Sig. Look what he's done. I mentioned
Hasn't won a natty.
No, but I remember I talked to Bartu yesterday,
Right.
asking him about Dave Bartu, the guy who runs College Football Matrix. Has all of the data. It goes back to Methuselah, and all of the coaching data and coaching grades and player talent, and all the things that kind of come along with that. And he said Sig is on one of the best coaching runs of his lifetime. And Bartu's not younger than us. Like this is.
I didn't say that, Dave. I love you.
I love you, Dave. But
I think Bartu is younger than I.
there you go.
Yeah, so there we go.
But
Take that, old man.
You're welcome, Dave.
there you go. There you go. But no, there's this element of like what is acceptable, and they're at the strongest universities where I will give Oregon the most credit, and I think they might be the best at this in the country, is that their alignment in their NIL, their general manager, their coach, the president, like everything outside of the football sphere that supports it, their foundation, their structure, it is all in alignment. It is all in alignment. Expectations are understood.
Yep.
And nobody's rising above Uncle Phil and saying, well, no. And Phil, what does he do? He sits back.
Yeah, he doesn't meddle.
Institutionally, if they're not number one, they're right there with whoever else you want to put there.
We make a lot of fun of it when we were talking about Mariners and DePoto's 54%. He's the way he said it was pretty tone deaf and kind of stupid. But there's a little bit of reality to that. If you're in the playoffs every single year,
you got a chance.
And you have stability every single year. If at 1 week your quarterback is talked about winning a Heisman, you are going to win a Heisman someday, and you're going to win a national championship someday. I might argue that's why Lincoln Riley's not really on a hot seat, because maybe USC needs to know that too. That don't give me the same expectations as Ohio State. Don't give me the same expectations as LSU. Let's build a program that continually competes, that continually is in the playoffs and has stability and structure. A coach that is well taken care of, that doesn't want to leave, and then boom, that's Oregon.
Because
boom, that's Georgia.
You can't Pete Carroll, you can't Urban Meyer, you can't Nick Saban anymore.
Exactly.
You can't do it anymore.
I want to read some texts here. I love this one. It feels like NIL gave boosters, donors more control in college football teams, and that becomes especially evident in coaches. The quote, I'm paying for wins, end quote, crowd won't accept 8 wins, and money is needed. But if LSU were undefeated right now and played Georgia in the SEC title game, lost to Georgia in that game, in a close game, and then drew Ohio State and they lose, Brian Kelly get fired?
No.
But if he did that 3 years in a row, he would.
Yep.
And that's an unreal expectation.
Yes. If you are consistently in the college football playoff, you should not be fired unless you are doing something egregious.
I don't even know if they would fire Kalen DeBoer for that, who took the most impossible job of all time in college football.
People would rattle some sabers, and
totally
the president's going to go.
Boards would go on fire,
and we can't even beat Texas, and or we can't even beat Michigan. We can't. It's like you're there, dog. You're there. That's the whole point. You give yourself, and you're not limping in.
No,
You're giving yourself the opportunity. People got crazy mad at Kalen DeBoer last year, taking over for Nick Saban and going 9-3. That's bonkers.
While we spent the entire offseason saying Saban left because he knew it was time to leave. That was one of his weakest teams in a decade, and he knew the writing on the wall.
Yes.
DeBoer walks in and you're like, this guy's trash. And it's like, Wah. Now, outside of losing to Florida State this year, I think he's got a pretty good shot at this. I love, Checkered says this on the YouTube, hypothetically, how would Oregon stack up in SEC teams? Win-loss, I'm not sure. But what we talked about
The
when you're moving
foundational stuff,
when you're
yeah.
moving conferences, Oregon's adapting to the Big
Yes,
Ten.
very well.
The Pac-12, Justin Herbert, Mariota, Chip Kelly offenses, that doesn't necessarily work in Big Ten territory. The Iowas and Wisconsins of the world don't let you play football like that.
And currently
so
this
if
year, the SEC is not the same SEC that it has been in
I
years
completely
past.
agree. But if Oregon were Chip Kelly, okay, and walked into the SEC of Les Miles and Nick Saban,
Not going well.
Different story.
that's not going to go well.
Yeah.
This incarnation of Oregon, if it walked into that time frame, then would adapt and would flip it, and it would be, we don't want the number one quarterback or the number one wide receiver or the best O-line in the conference. We want D linemen. We want big uglies on that defense and the best DB you've ever seen in your life.
Well, you
would adapt.
You want the best O-line, too.
Well, I know, but you follow.
Yes.
That
100%.
conference was all defense, and I think these guys aren't looking in the mirror. They're not looking around and saying, hey, there's only one shot at this. And we need to build a program that is consistently this. And if this is your excuse to get rid of Brian Kelly because you don't like Brian Kelly, if this is your excuse to get rid of Billy Napier because it was a bad hire from the jump,
I hope you all had a shitty day.
yeah, you too, Brian Kelly.
There you
And then admit that. But don't tell me, we expect national championships and anything less is not good enough. It's like, dude, Georgia doesn't win every year. Georgia hasn't won in years.
Yeah.
What do you want?
And yet we're still talking about them when we talked about when they played Florida. Is there an element of fear of the Georgia train coming on down them tracks?
Hell yeah, there is.
And there is.
We all took Dabo to win a natty
Yes.
this year.
Why? Because of what he's done.
Because it's Dabo, and if Dabo gets fired, he can choose his job.
Yep. By the way,
Alabama could fire Kalen DeBoer just to hire Dabo Swinney.
it sounds like Dabo's trying to get out.
I think
it?
so too. It really does. It really does.
Like,
I think I would too.
There's some arrogance there. There's some ego there, but there's also like, are you that ungrateful?
I think so.
And I think he's right.
But that's part of this.
I think he's right, to be honest.
That's part of this. They took Clemson, who was an okay program.
Two national titles.
He went to 3 national
But I mean,
titles.
he won 2.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Dude, you know what I think it is? I got another conspiracy going.
Ooh,
I know we're
tighten
way
up.
against
Screw
this.
it. Go.
I think Dabo and Clemson mutually walk away from each other this year.
Mm-hmm.
Dabo doesn't take the buyout, and Dabo is the head coach at the University of Michigan next year.
Ooh.
How you like Dabo in the Big Ten, guys? You ready to go to the big house?
See, Dabo to me feels like down south ACC, SEC guy.
does.
Well, who's Michigan gonna? Dude, Sharon Moore is not lasting.
No,
okay,
I
Sharon
didn't
Moore
say
is
that.
not the guy.
Dead man walking.
Yeah, Sharon Moore
James
is
Franklin.
Nothing. Nope. That's a
don't
downgrade.
think so?
I mean, not a downgrade from James Franklin, but Michigan's going to look at that as a down. They don't want a Penn State failure. What are you going to go get Brian Kelly at Michigan?
Dabo
Barf.
just does not feel like
Dabo might be the
upper
best guy out there.
Midwest cold weather football.
You're
to
not
me.
going to like Mike Norvell. You're not getting Hugh Freeze.
You don't
think
want to.
You think Michigan's going to go get an offensive coordinator?
No.
They back it up. Oh,
They
I
go-
still don't have my voice.
There you
Otherwise,
go.
I would have had a beat there.
Beep. Beep.
Thank you. They would have done that.
There you go. They could go get Iowa's defensive coordinator, but I don't think he wants to be head coach. So,
And I don't think that would sit well. Michigan wants more.
yeah, for
Michigan
sure.
fan base gets Dabo Swinney, boom, done. But then again, what is that expectation?
Well, you're coming with a guy who has 2 natties,
Ryan Day was going to get fired last year.
which is still hilarious.
Ryan Day was going to get
Yeah.
fired. Lost to Oregon. Close game on
Yeah,
the road
on
at
the road,
Autzen
yeah.
for the first time in
But then
today's
lost
world.
to Michigan.
Then lost to Michigan, a not very good Michigan
and
team.
that was DEFCON 2. We didn't reach DEFCON 1, but we were DEFCON 2 for sure.
Handled business against Tennessee, which I think we all thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses to Oregon, he's fired last year.
There's a good chance.
Oh, yeah. I
There's a
think
good
he's
chance,
toast.
which is kind of insane to think about.
And now he's like untouchable.
Yeah.
He's got at least another decade there.
I mean, that guy's out there with a nipple piercing. He's about as untouchable as it gets.
Boy, temper your expectations, fans. Truthfully.
Start out here.
If my team goes to the playoff, if I'm an SEC, if I'm a Florida guy, and my team is in the playoffs 2 out of every 3 years, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
You should be, because you're giving yourself a chance.
And wins can't be bought.
No, I mean,
you can't. It's still coaching. I mean, you can.
You can in a certain way. It can be bought if you spend the money the exact right way. But there's an element of luck. But there's also an element of being grounded and knowing what you are and what you can be.
We've talked about the NFC West being a spin the chamber and click in to see who's going to be the best team. Which one of these conferences is more wild to you, the SEC or the the Big 12 or the ACC? We'll get to those next. 105.1 The Fan. Trying to predict where coaches are going to go is Such a fascinating thing. I'm having this conversation with Tyler on the YouTube chat. What if Jed Fish takes the Florida job and UW goes and hires James Franklin? I think that fit is magical.
That's a great fit.
I would love to hate James Franklin at UW, and I think he'd be there Chris Peterson style. I think he'd be there for a while.
Yeah.
I would love to hate James Franklin.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great for you.
I would love to hate him.
Yeah, you'd have a million reasons to hate him on top of everything else.
And I think it's because I kind of like James Franklin. I just think Penn State ran its course.
I think he's a good coach.
I think he's a great coach.
Yeah, I mean,
oh God, I would love to hate him. Got my sports pants real
look at
tight.
that. See, look, I'm
10 toes
rubbing
down
off
on
on
that,
you, man.
yeah.
Giving you a little bit of hatred.
Free consultation coming up at 12:15. So any questions, got a couple in. We can get to them today. Your life, sports, whatever it is. Where'd this go? Jordan put this on the text line. What if the SEC goes full WWE, tries to make some new championships so they can win more than one a year? I wouldn't put it past them. LSU, the Intercontinental Champion of 2025.
The simple things.
Florida and Auburn both fired their coaches and both maybe they both beat let's say they both beat Texas A&M. Are they the tag team champs?
There you go. I like it.
They hold the belt next year. They both beat Georgia.
That's
the Hardy Brothers.
That's how we temper
Team
expectations.
Extreme.
You hand out trophies, but also title belts.
Oh boy, could you imagine the South participation trophies? That's what that sounds like. That's what that sounds like.
But you don't let them think that. You think, oh yeah, no, this is good.
Yeah. You're the best 8-4 team in the conference,
Oh,
man.
man.
Here's a trophy.
It's funny, this on the YouTube chat. Patrick just wants Franklin at UW because he knows that means UW will never win a title.
Sign me up.
Doesn't have a huge load either.
That was misfire.
Oops.
Hey, but not terribly timed.
Hey.
It happens.
Which chamber do you like spinning more, the Big 12 or the ACC right now? Because the ACC kind of came a little off the top rope.
Okay, so
They came a little out of nowhere and was like, "Would you like chaos?"
look, we're
Grenade.
going Big 12 styling here because we're going 6-shooter.
Okay.
We're going
a
six-shooter.
shooter.
And we're going to put one big bullet on each side of that cylinder. One for Georgia Tech and Haynes King.
Yeah.
One for BYU and Bear Bachmeier. And I'm hoping it lands on I'm hoping it lands on one of those two guys. Because with those two, you get some absolute magic.
Yeah, I think I'm into the ACC chaos more because I think I've figured out the Big 12.
Okay.
Texas Tech
Elaborate.
losing their quarterback is massive.
Indeed.
Okay. Cincinnati, thanks for playing. I watched you play Utah. I'm out. Utah, we love Utah on this program, but Utah's shown some deficiencies. BYU is the only team I've seen that actually feels like they have some sense of put together. Kenny Dill, we love him, but I don't quite see it.
No, Tech's got their quarterback. Baron Morton?
Didn't the other kid go out?
No, Morton's there.
What the hell am I thinking of?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of something that's been driving me nuts because I'm thinking about it the last few days.
No, Morton's there. Morton's good.
Okay, either way, I've seen this. I'm kind of out on the Big 12.
Okay.
The chaos was fun at the beginning of the year,
Arizona State's lost their quarterback.
and I'm kind of out. Maybe I'm thinking 11.
You're thinking 11. Kansas State has been kind of, they can't.
Kansas State and Iowa State, you can't sit with us anymore.
It's so funny. Like this is, Texas Tech has played over the last 3 weeks, Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and they'll play BYU this weekend. But like those teams, with the exception of Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Arizona State, and you can mention Iowa State, were all teams that were like, hey, let's see how spicy they can get. In Utah, they had that bad loss to Tech, 34-10, but now Utah is kind of back in the thick of things, and you really have three teams in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Utah, you've got BYU, and you've got Tech. Those are your title contenders in that conference. In the ACC, there's like a potential for like a 9-way tie right now.
Yeah.
Like you could have a Duke Virginia title game. Like that's on the table.
We've been sitting here talking about how Virginia's not very good at all, and they're in the 12th team in the nation and in first place in the ACC.
It's absolutely. Let me pull this up. I need to pull the.
They are
conference up.
Wazoo Cougan it away from losing a game.
Okay. As of right now, Virginia is the only undefeated in conference play.
Correct.
Team in the ACC. They are 5-0. Georgia Tech 5-1. Pitt 5-1. Louisville 4-1. SMU 4-1. Duke 4-1.
Boy, that NC State loss sucks for Virginia right now.
Right, but then Miami's 2-2, and then you get a crap ton of teams at 2-3. But look at who plays who down the stretch. There's so much potential for teams to basically everyone in this conference to finish with 2 losses. You're just like,
And that's why I take the ACC.
what is going on here?
Yeah, but with the crystal ball vomiting all over yourself and Carson Beck being a very mediocre quarterback now, the ACC, bud, you got to win it. You got to win it.
Yeah.
I think maybe the only outside chance of 2 teams going, in my opinion, from the ACC is if Virginia runs the table and loses
To Tech in the title game.
close game in the title game to either Tech or Miami.
Yeah, I think it has to be Tech at this point because Miami's 6-2.
Brand.
Yeah, but if Georgia Tech,
But if Miami wins out, I haven't looked at the schedule, so I'm not sure if Miami plays Virginia.
but Georgia Tech, they finish with BC, Pitt, Georgia.
Miami does?
No, Georgia Tech.
Oh, Georgia Tech. Yeah, that Georgia loss is going to be rough.
But they'll be at 2 losses but it won't be a conference loss. So they'll be tied with Miami at worst in conference if they, I'm sure they'll be ahead of Miami in the conference. So they want to get a title game. Meanwhile, for Miami, they have Syracuse, NC State, Virginia Tech, and Pitt. So Miami should run the table.
Virginia has Wake Forest, Duke, and Virginia Tech.
That's what I'm saying. The potential here for there to be a pile of 1-loss teams
Chaos.
is just like, whoa, what's going on here?
Chaos. Let's not forget Louisville in the action.
Mm-hmm.
Cal, Clemson, SMU, Kentucky. And don't look now, but my Pitt Panthers.
No, Pitt's the one that keeps popping up. The Pitt basically plays everybody down the stretch.
Yeah, Pitt's hoes. They got Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, Miami.
That is a brutal stretch.
They're on a bye right now.
God, they play the number 10, number 16, and number, 18 teams in the country to finish it out. 2 of them are at home. They have Notre Dame and Miami at home at Georgia Tech.
Florida, our schedule sucks. Pitt goes, what?
Yeah.
Your schedule sucks?
I mean, they've played Louisville, Florida State, and then they'll finish with Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, Miami. That's a pretty tough schedule. Now, Florida's schedule still sucks. It's the worst schedule in the country.
Look, I know who's good in the Big Ten, and I know who's good in the SEC. And I know who's good in the Pac-2 as well. Go Beavers. I don't know who's good in the ACC. I don't know, buddy.
It's a weird one.
It's
a fun one.
When we come back, let's slide into the NFL, okay? All right? Done with these amateurs, okay? Free consultation at 12:15. Getting your questions, 503-864-6326 or the YouTube chat. We'll slide into the NFL. The big game from the weekend, the Bills defeat the Kansas City Chiefs. Are we on the Bills wagon, or is this just another weird case of KC in 2025? We'll go there next. But first, the Kahuna with sports.
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Trailblazers are off tonight after a loss last night to a depleted Lakers squad. They end the homestand tomorrow night hosting the currently undefeated Oklahoma City Thunder. They are the only team without a loss on the season, but those Thunder in Los Angeles to face the Clippers for the second half of the NBC Peacock doubleheader this evening. Jalen Williams, the other one, and Lou Dort are game time decisions. The Thunder are 7.5-point favorites. In the first half, though, from Atlanta, the Hawks hosting Paolo Banchero and the Magic. That one is a 5 o'clock tip. The Magic are 3.5-point favorites. Over in the NFL trade deadline this afternoon, 1 p.m. Pacific time, the Cowboys acquiring Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams from the Jets for a first and second round pick. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network reporting the Jets also sending cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. NFL Network reporting the Seahawks acquiring wide receiver Rashid Shaheed from the Saints, reuniting him with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. Shaheed was second on the team with 44 catches for 499 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Cowboys also acquiring veteran linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals for a 7th-round pick next year. And Adam Schefter reporting the Raiders sending receiver Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars for 4th and 6th-round picks. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
the home of Ducks game day. Before and after every Ducks football game this season. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
no issues, and then they played the Bills, and you went, well, maybe not, because the Chiefs did rattle off those 3 wins but it was against the Lions, of which they beat the crap out of Lions, but then they beat the crap out of my Raiders, and then they beat the crap out of the Commanders. There's 2 games in there where you're like, wins are wins in the NFL. You don't look that gift horse in the mouth, but it's the Raiders and the Commanders, and then you play the Bills, and that game ends up being 28-21, but we all saw the game.
I watched the game. It was not that close.
No.
However, this Kansas City team feels very much like playing up or playing down. Maybe more playing up, but never staying up against bad teams. If the playoffs start today, they're not in it.
Which is such. Say it again. Say it again.
If the playoffs were to start today, the Kansas City Chiefs would not be in the playoffs.
Love that.
They're on the road against the Broncos this weekend. Oh, they're on a bye next weekend. Then they host the Colts. Like, bro, 5 and 6 ain't gonna get it done.
Nope.
Ain't gonna get it done.
Hate to see it. Can the Broncos and the Chiefs both lose in the same game?
You'll get a Cowboy game off, and then you get the Texans.
But will you, though? They have Quinn and Williams now.
Stop it.
They can't cover anybody.
Then you get the Texans. Then you get the Chargers. It could be 1:30 p.m. on December 14th.
Very easily be a 500 team.
And they could have 1, 2, 3, 4 more losses. They would be 6 and 8.
Like I said, very easily could be a 500 team.
Boy, when that.
Well, I guess you can't be in a 17 game season.
Boy, when dynasties fall.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't falling on your face. Like, this isn't, the Raiders post Gruden ripping their soul out in the Super Bowl, but, you hate to see it.
And I know they love him, and he's their guy, and he's a Hall of Famer for sure. But Travis Kelce is cooked. You asked me the other day about Klay Thompson because he's my boy. Is Klay Thompson washed? The answer is yes. Is Travis Kelce washed, dude? The answer is yes.
He's capable of having some games, but
Sure.
on the Klay Thompson thing, I was sitting with somebody who's worked with the Warriors, and I was looking at the Mavs score, and I looked at him like, this sucks, man. Your guy's cooked. And we looked at the box score, and it was like,
dude, he's toast.
He's
2 ACLs and an Achilles, man. What do you expect?
He went 2 for 9, and it's like
He's Hall of Famer. He's got 4 rings.
He should probably move to the bench, but he just won't because
he's Klay Thompson.
and I don't begrudge him that. But
He's got 4 rings and Megan Thee Stallion.
yeah, I mean he's fine, but there's certainly the washed king comes for all.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Now Kelce, he had an okay game against the Bills.
Dude, a lot of those catches are
late.
them giving them space.
But also, was it the week before against the Commanders? He had a big game, and I think against the Raiders, he had a pretty big game too. He's still got some juice. He's still certainly better than most,
and he competes.
Yeah,
he never takes a day off.
But
his body is kind of saying,
yeah, this is probably it for you, dog.
Coming up next, Web Gems, we'll look at the NFL trade deadline. Lots of stuff happening. 1 more hour to go on that. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
Ouch, son of a...
It's Web Gems,
What'd you do?
the firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this is Web Gems. Do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the Big Nooner, we'll have a conversation about, one of Danny's favorite statements is calling people cowards. We'll see. Will the college football playoff selection committee be a coward
Who is a
tonight?
cowardly lion?
Who is going to be a coward
Meow.
tonight? Plus, we'll have free consultations, so get your questions in, 503-864-6326, or on the YouTube chat. We'll get to those at 12:15 as well. We'll finish up with closing arguments. Liverpool playing Real Madrid in the Big Nooner.
Quit trying to work this
Stoked, dude. Trent coming back to Anfield.
I don't care.
Too bad, dude. I do. And I have a microphone.
Fart hammer.
He can turn yours down.
That is true. It is the
Holy catfish!
it is the NFL trade deadline. God, I need that drop. I love it so much. It is the NFL trade deadline, and boy, things are getting spicy. Danny and you and I were having this conversation in the break, and as the Jets are on a full-on fire sale,
They're committed to the bit. I was just telling young Jake out here, who's a huge Jets fan, that there was another report that Breece Hall might be available now too, and he's like, I'm okay with that. We have running backs. We're good. But the Jets, they've acquired 3 first-round picks so far, 2 seconds with the trades they've made, sending out Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. They've also gotten Mozzie Smith, who's a former number 1 overall pick, or not number 1, but first-round pick from the Dallas Cowboys. So the pick that they got from the Cowboys, that first-round pick, is the best of the Green Bay or Dallas pick in 2027.
And I don't mean to necessarily turn this into a Jets conversation, but I think it is a Jets
God, yes,
conversation
it
at this
is.
point. Look, if you have talent on that team that's getting first-round draft picks in return, okay, in Sauce,
2 of them in Sauce,
in
and
Sauce,
then 1 in Quinnen.
and Williams, and you've got guys that people want. You're bad this year. You clearly are incompetent at quarterback. You've got great players on the defensive side. You've got Aaron Glenn, who's clearly a defensive-minded genius, question mark. Really, really talented at it. You're kind of a quarterback away from doing something. So my question to you was, why? They're going to be bad this year. You're going to have a high draft pick. Quarterbacks aplenty in this draft. And then it dawned on us. They're not really into these quarterbacks.
I don't think they are.
And all these picks are in what year?
2027.
So they're punting on this year and next year.
Yeah, they have some picks this year, but they're getting picks in 2027 as well. And I think a big part of that is this isn't a shot at Duck fans. I don't think people are super excited about Dante. I don't think they're super excited about Fernando Mendoza. I don't think teams, now they will talk themselves into it. We get it every single year.
I think another year of Dante and people might be very excited
Sure.
about Dante.
There's certainly that possibility on the table, but if you look at this quarterback class and what guys thought might be there with experienced quarterbacks, whether it's Klubnik or Nussmeier and these guys that were supposed to be up there, I don't think that juice is there. This feels like the 2020 class? What's Trevor Lawrence's class? 2020, I think?
Yes.
That class was not good. It was really bad. And this has kind of that feel, except there isn't even a Trevor Lawrence in the class. You know what I mean?
And was Trevor Lawrence worth the juice?
Yeah, and that's the question you have to ask. So now you'll always find quarterbacks.
He's 2019. 2020 is
yeah.
Burrow.
I'm sorry, my bad. 2019.
I think 2019.
That whatever it is, that class is. I've said this a million times. That from like 2017 through 2023. Don't ask me dates.
2019 is Kyler Murray.
There you go. So it is 2021 for Lawrence then. I don't know. Whatever.
2018.
I don't know. Like I said,
you talk. I'm gonna figure this out.
But the idea of kind of where things are in this here, let's flip to the flip side. The team that acquired Sauce Gardner,
Trevor Lawrence, 2021.
Yeah, I know.
21. There we go.
But for funsies, 2018, real quick. Baker 1, Sam Darnold 3, Josh Allen 7. The next quarterback off the board at 10, Josh Rosen.
Oof. Yeah, you remember that was not great, Bob.
Whoopsies.
But the
Lamar Jackson at 32.
Yeah, there you go. The
2021, by the way, yeah, Trevor Lawrence at 1, Zach Wilson number 2, Trey Lance at number 3, Justin Fields at 11, Mac Jones at 15.
Mm-hmm.
And scrolling. That
It's
looks like that,
literally
that looks to be your
called
first
Wyoming.
round class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
I just get off at weird times.
Like right meow.
The Colts, they acquire Sauce Gardner and they give up 2 first-round picks. I saw a tweet from somebody that
I love
covers the Colts and a senior writer for The Athletic. He's like, okay, let's take a look at this. If you are a team that is acquiring somebody and you are giving up this level of draft capital, which, to be clear, I love Sauce Gardner. 2 first-round picks is too much.
That's a lot.
I remember I argued with a Seahawks fan when they traded for Jamal in the capital I gave up for him. And I'm like, you do not give up that capital for a safety.
Adams.
For a safety.
Yeah.
Now, a corner, I can be talked into it if you're one of the 2-3 best corners in the league, which Sauce can be, but he's had some injuries. That team sucks.
So let's not forget 2 first-round picks and a wide receiver.
Yes. So the Colts gave all this
Boy,
up.
if you're that wide receiver, you are pissed.
All right,
Like,
like-
really, you had to throw me into
Yeah,
this?
like why do I have to be a part of this? But if you're the Colts and you're giving up these first round picks, what does that mean? You're not going after a quarterback. It
No.
means you believe in Daniel Jones.
It's your guy,
Daniel Jones is your guy.
Danny Two Nickels.
Well, look, we all laughed at it early in the season, but look, what is he doing out there?
Well,
You know?
I mean, it just goes to show that Shane Steichen is a damn good coach. I think he's a damn good offensive mind.
Which I don't think anybody was saying.
No.
before
No,
the
they
season.
weren't. They weren't, but
Right?
maybe we weren't saying it enough.
But so that shows you exactly what a combination of a head coach and a quarterback does for a squad.
It
It's
matters,
truth.
but
It's truth.
If they can marry,
Yes.
right? It doesn't mean you have to have the best quarterback and the best head coach. You get a couple of guys that mesh well together.
Kirby
and look
Smart
what
and
can
Gunnar
happen.
Stockton.
I think you're looking at two sides of the same coin. In the Jets, they don't have a quarterback anywhere that they trust in any way, shape, matter, or form.
Well, they do in Tyrod Taylor, and they won't start him. So.
Well, I don't. That's because they don't trust him.
How many
But-
teams have ever trusted Tyrod Taylor
I mean,
well, the 15 he's been on.
yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a very good backup.
as a backup?
I'm
Yes,
taking
exactly.
Taylor over Fields
Yes,
every
I
day
am
of the
too.
week.
But maybe the Jets are intentionally losing. That's why they're playing Fields. But these are two teams on other sides of the same coin. One that firmly believes in what they are, who they're going to be, and their quarterback. The other that has no idea who they are, what they want to be, or has any belief in their quarterback. I think it's an interesting dichotomy and how you look at that and go, yeah, did the Colts maybe give up too much? Sure. Ballard, is definitely letting him hang, so to speak, in making that trade. But the Colts are, leading the AFC right now. Go for it. We just talked about it.
Why
We're
not?
in the college football playoff. When
Why
the
not?
opportunity presents itself, go.
Go.
Like,
Without a doubt.
so if you're the Colts and you've been mired in this is ownership, front office, coach, kind of an alignment of like, yeah, no, we are who we are. Let's get better on the back end. And this is a defense that's already pretty good. If Gardner can go out there and be the dude that he is, that team gets real good. Meanwhile, look at the other trade the Jets made to the Dallas Cowboys. They went and got Quentin Williams after getting embarrassed by the Arizona Cardinals and Jacoby Brissett. The move
Embarrassed.
the move the Colts made was one from a position of strength. The move the Cowboys made was from a position of weakness and panic.
That's how as bad they've been now.
Yes. So I think
Cowboys are still going to suck, in my
yes, because they still can't cover anybody.
Always.
opinion. Yeah.
Quentin Williams is very good. Quentin Williams is a
very
very,
good.
very, very good
What's his
player.
contract?
A lot, and he's 28 years old.
Oh,
And
okay.
most of the reason why the Cowboys are going to always suck,
Smiles and glory holes.
Pretty much.
Jerry Jones.
As long as the old man's in charge.
So there you go.
All right, we'll get into the big nooner here and we come back. Let's have a little fun. The college football playoff will be announced tonight, at least the standings, the first standings of the year. Let's have some fun. What are some things, if you saw, that would be really shaking it up? Because I think these guys are going to be a bunch of cowards, and I think it's going to look just like the AP poll. But what could be some fun things that they do that would really get your pants moving? Plus, we'll have free consultation at 12:15, 503-864-6326. Get your questions in. We'll do that. Loaded big hour coming. Stay right with us. 105.1 The Fan.
This
George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Go Beavers.
Hey, guess what, y'all? This update brought to you by Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar, your Ducks game day headquarters in Portland. Go Ducks. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers off tonight after a loss last night to a shorthanded Lakers squad. They end the homestand tomorrow night, hosting the currently undefeated Oklahoma City Thunder, the only team without a loss on the season. Those very same Thunder, they are in Los Angeles to face the Clippers for the second half of the NBC Peacock doubleheader this evening. Jalen Williams, no, the other one, and Lou Dort are game time decisions. The Thunder are 7.5-point favorites. In the first half of the doubleheader, it comes to you from Atlanta. The Hawks hosting Paolo Banchero and the Magic. That one a 5 o'clock tip. Orlando, 3.5-point favorites. Over in the NFL, the trade deadline coming up this afternoon. In just a little bit under an hour, the Cowboys acquiring Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams from the Jets for a first and second round pick. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network reporting those same Jets sending cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. The Cowboys, meanwhile, also acquiring veteran linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals for a 7th-round pick next year. NFL Network reporting the Seahawks acquiring wide receiver Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. That reunites him with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, and ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the Raiders sending receiver Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars for 4th and 6th round picks. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. Weekdays 2 to 3. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
they're not a number two. Now they're not a number two team anymore. I don't understand it.
That's part of it. You make the evaluation. Like, so when Miami was rolling, and I stood on this, and I will continue. They had the best resume at the time. They do not have that anymore, and they deserve to fall. That's just the reality of it. At that point in time, I thought Miami, who they had played and how they had won and how they had executed and how in the games they had taken care of, they had the best resume. They no longer do, so they fall. You can talk about what they are when they are, but you can also look back. The way Florida State started the season, we had Danny Cannell on, and he was like, "Man, this looks like it's something's cooking here."
His juice was flowing.
Castellanos, like we were all talking about, hey man, Castellanos might be a guy that needs to pop his way up into this Heisman race to see how this goes. But now we look at this, and it is different with Florida State. It is different with Penn State. It is different with Miami. It is different with LSU. It is different with Clemson. You operate with what you have, with the data and the information that you have when it's available, and you make your decisions then. But as the season progresses, you kind of go down along
New
that path.
information creates new opinions.
Yes. And yes, you can only play who's in front of you. But when you have more evidence and you have more data, you start to do that. We have spent the last couple of weeks talking about that Penn State game. When Tyson last week finally got to the point where, I shouldn't say finally, but it took him a while to get to the point of like, because we asked him about the Penn State game pretty much over every week. Like, how does that look now? Last week he was like, yeah, it doesn't really look good now, does it? It's just, it doesn't.
And that's my only thing. Look, I think Oregon's a top 10 team in the nation.
Yes,
Hell, I might think they're a top 5 team in the nation. If Oregon plays Texas A&M, I might take Oregon in that game in a neutral site game for funsies.
I wouldn't.
I don't know what I would do.
But that's fair.
Okay, I think they're that good. However, if we're really looking at resumes, you can make an argument that the team's not been impressive.
Yeah, especially over the last handful of weeks.
That being said, I think they'll be the 6th seed in the playoff.
I think they're going to bump them higher.
Yeah, you think they'll give them a love?
I think they're going to end up top 5.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which is, again, kind of weird. If we're talking about resumes and what matters for one doesn't matter for another.
Rules for
Big
me
10,
and not for
SEC
thee.
versus ACC and Big 12 and Group of 5. But that's the world we live in.
Right. If Oregon is ranked 8th, Oregon and Big 10 fans are going to lose their minds. And if Texas is ranked 10th, SEC is going to be like, ooh, dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, exactly. Now, they absolutely should not. And if they do, you should riot.
Yeah, well, we're going to riot tomorrow. Speaking
Metaphorically.
of that, coming up next is free consultation. Any questions you need some help with, whether it's your personal life, sports world, what happens if Texas makes the college football playoff rankings tonight? What can I do to help you? Any of those are welcome. 503-864-6326 or over on the YouTube chat. Free consultation is next. 105.1 The Fan.
It's time for your free consultation.
Don't sweat it. It's a freebie.
Every Tuesday at 12:15, the firm of Harrison Meringue dishes advice.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Sports, life, your questions answered at your own risk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The Fan.
Oh, you gotta love it sometimes. This is free consultation. We do it every single Tuesday at 12:15. We're here to hang out with you guys, help you with your questions, whatever you might need. Let's see here. Consultation debate. We'll start with something fun, something sports adjacent. What is more demoralizing? Being one of the kids trying out for the basketball team and the coach picks a dog over you as an airbud, or being an orphan and having your new potential parents pick a mouse over you in Stuart Little. Now, Stuart Little's pretty cute.
I was just say,
It's pretty
see
cute.
the little car he drives.
But you also don't have parents.
Yeah, but also your dad is house.
Well, and rodents. He is a rodent.
But it's so cute.
He's
Get
so
those
cute.
damn rodents out of my house.
I did see this great meme like, why is everybody mad at the bad guy in Ratatouille? All he wanted was no rats in his kitchen.
Yeah.
Right?
Is he really a bad guy
Look,
for that?
as much as I love Patton Oswalt, keep the rodents out of the kitchen.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
I mean, playing basketball and they choose a dog. A dog can't dribble.
But, I mean-
they don't stand on their hind legs.
but you've seen him dunk.
I have seen him dunk.
Look, man.
I do like the idea of getting an alley-oop from a dog who bounces it off his nose.
Right?
Like that is sweet.
That's lovable. That's adorable. Plus, he's a golden retriever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
I was gonna say
everybody
lab,
loves
but-
a golden retriever.
Strong
right?
golden retriever energy.
Exactly.
I do appreciate that.
Nobody loves a mouse.
I think I'll 10 toes down on this, dude. I think you're in a big, big trouble if your future parents are choosing the mouse.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? I don't know.
But also, have you
I was
seen
about
that?
to say something not appropriate
Yeah.
due to today's
Yeah, there you
context. Sorry, buddy.
Well, and plus the mom and Stuart Little, she's an Olympian archer. She can take him out with an
Yeah.
arrow if she wants to.
Hey, man, look, you split custody of the mouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen that cute little car?
I know. It is super cute.
Super cute.
He's cute enough that he got a sequel.
And-
Airbud got like 15. I think there's a
Yeah.
new Airbud coming out, too.
I mean, it probably prints money. But yeah, I mean the mouse though, he also has like the little sweater and pants.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute. But also, I'm with you.
My oldest daughter was Paddington for Halloween. She was adorable.
Paddington 2,
That's good.
Paddington 2,
cool.
still the highest rated movie on IMDb history.
Is it really?
It was. It was
Like right about 100%.
Yeah,
Or like
it-
Rotten Tomatoes or
yeah.
what have
I don't
you.
think I've seen it. I should probably watch it.
I've not seen Paddington
I've read all the
2.
books. I have not seen any of the movies.
I've seen the first Paddington movie, but not Paddington 2.
Did you watch the Winnie the Pooh movie, Christopher Robin, with Ewan McGregor?
No.
no.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
He plays grown-up Christopher Robin.
Yes.
It's excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I hate every time I watch Winnie the Pooh, I'm just like ready to uncontrollably sob at any second.
See, the thing about Ewan McGregor is he plays somebody
Easy, Rod.
No, hang on.
That's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I understand.
Don't you walk into my world.
He plays either somebody that you absolutely love or he plays an absolutely horrific character that you do not want to get behind.
Yeah, what was the one in the Tom Hanks Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code?
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
a real bad guy in that.
Mhm. What was one of the other ones? My wife she's been watching it's a series like on Netflix, I think, Halstad.
Okay.
Yeah, like a kind of 80s era fashion designer, and he's just a big cokehead and a big old piece of crap.
Free consultation.
As it pertains to Paddington 2, they had the most. They achieved this in 2021. It was the most reviewed film to ever maintain a perfect 100% score, surpassing Toy Story 2's record. In 2021, a single negative review dropped it down to 99%, where it sits now.
Wow.
But it was the most reviewed, highest rated film of all time. Paddington 2. Put it in the Louvre.
Like I get it, I guess, but really?
Mm.
I mean, I get it, but really? I don't know. I mean, like you even said, put it ahead of Toy Story 2. I'm not sure I'm going to put it ahead of Toy Story 2 or Toy Story 1 or really, honestly, any of the
Jeff
Toy
Rust,
Stories.
Paddington 2 hater.
Wow. Did I tell you what my greatest dive bar smoking table graffiti I've ever seen?
Oh,
Paddington?
No. There's a place in Vancouver, Brick House. I don't believe this table exists anymore.
She's a brick.
They used to have this side smoking area before now they've got like a huge area out front.
Yeah.
But they used to have this real small kind of smoking area, and there was a wooden picnic table that you could sit at. There was a couple of them, and on one of them, somebody had etched into it with like a knife. Toy Story 2 was just okay. And I think that's one of the hottest takes I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, here's one to add to it.
Scorching, because it is so polarizing.
Paddington 2 is now on the same level of film review as Citizen Kane.
Wow.
See, come on. What are we,
Wow.
what are we doing
Toy
here?
Story 2 was just okay.
Just okay.
Because
What
it
are we
ain't Paddington
doing
2.
Yep. Sid can't stand up.
I've also seen Citizen Kane.
Oh, wow. Here comes the actor.
Also, I do. Full disclosure, I know somebody who has worked on the Toy Story movies and was a co-director on Finding Dory and the director of Lightyear.
Oh, I loved Lightyear.
Yeah.
loved
Beaverton
Lightyear.
native, Angus McLean.
Oh, I loved Lightyear.
Babe 2 is a masterpiece on the text line.
False.
False. Toy Story 2 better than Babe 2.
Yeah.
Babe 2 good. Not a
Babe,
masterpiece.
but Babe
10
though,
toes down.
that'll do, pig.
That's Babe 1.
Yeah, I don't-
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
a whole
That's what I'm
different
saying.
world. That movie was nominated for Best Picture,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Still, whatever. Great.
Wow.
Look at this.
Look at this guy over
Look,
here.
James Cromwell is fine and
Oh, wow.
stuff. But come on.
Whoa.
With the Peaky Blinders hat, too?
And a cascade of booze rained down from the stands.
Whoa.
James Cromwell is fine.
Unbelievable.
Whoa.
Now, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, dude.
Exactly. Especially as the surly uncle in Succession, right?
Dude, that guy is gold in everything he's in. Wow. All right. Well, let's put a pin on this. We'll come back to some more free consultation. It's your last chance to get any
I
questions
pissed
in.
some people off.
503-864-6326 or the YouTube chat, but we'll send it over to Sourpuss, the big kahuna himself.
Probably hated the Green Mile, too.
With sports.
You ever had a big kahuna burger?
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First off, that's unfair. Nobody hates the Green Mile. This update, though, brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make. If your grandma were from the Big Island, Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online at ate-oh-ate.com. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers off tonight after a loss last night to a very depleted Lakers squad. They end the homestand tomorrow night, though, hosting the currently undefeated Oklahoma City Thunder, the only team without a loss on the season. Those same Thunder, they are in Los Angeles to face the Clippers tonight for the second half of the NBC Peacock doubleheader. Jalen Williams, the other one, and Lou Dort are game time decisions. The Thunder are 7.5-point favorites. The first half of the doubleheader, that one comes from Atlanta. The Hawks hosting Paolo Banchero and the Magic. 5 o'clock tip, Orlando are 3.5-point favorites. In the NFL, the trade deadline this afternoon coming up at the top of the hour, just over, or right around 30 minutes from now. Cowboys acquiring Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams from the Jets for a first and second round pick, and defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network reporting the Jets sending cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. NFL Network reporting the Seahawks acquiring receiver Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. That reunites him with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. The Cowboys acquiring veteran linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals for a 7th-round pick next year. Adam Schefter reporting the Raiders sending receiver Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars for 4th and 6th-round picks. And over in baseball, the Padres announced Yu Darvish. He had UCL surgery on Wednesday and is expected to miss all of the 2026 season. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
I guess a handball in the box doesn't count as a PK in this game. Can't count on the refs on Paramount Plus. Can't count on the referees on Paramount Plus, I'll tell you that. 503-864-6326.
If I ignore it, it'll go away.
If Russ badmouths the never-ending story of Princess Bride, I'm switching the channel. Shut your mouth if you're about to.
Wait, what are we doing here?
I would like to not lose listeners.
What did I?
Cat, the literal cat is out of the bag.
Wait, where did I get anywhere close to either of those things?
I think they're just worried that your takes are atrocious. Also, I would like to shout out our sales department, Sam and the crew over there, for this text proving that our clients that we work with here at the great station are working. Jeff Rust making me want to call the advocates. That's the truth. They'll take care of you. Have you been? Yeah.
What?
Have you been wronged? Have you been wronged?
What made anybody think that I would badmouth either the Never-Ending Story or the Princess Bride?
You said James Cromwell was fine.
Yeah, dude. I think it's more out of terror. I think it's more out of fear.
Okay, so first up, tell you what. Okay. I'm going to put
Never meet your heroes, children.
Good Lord. Okay, hang on here. I'm going to go check out and see what... okay, 19... I was in college, you a-holes, when Babe came out.
So?
And so James Cromwell was fine when I was a freshman, sophomore in college.
It's a timeless classic.
And that movie was not necessarily up my wheelhouse when I was a freshman, sophomore in college.
How old were you when Toy Story 2 came out?
Let's see here. Different story.
It's like 2001, 2002?
No, it is not. Toy Story 2, 1999.
Then how old are you?
Yeah. Different story.
Why? Why?
Nostalgia, bitches.
Oh, no.
Nostalgia.
Oh,
Does Babe have
man.
Mr. Potato Head? No.
No, he has That'll Do, pig.
Does Babe have John Ratzenberger?
You didn't read Charlotte's Web as a kid?
Of course I did. I saw Charlotte's Web. I saw the original. That's what we watched like every year in grade school was the original animated one.
Dude, go eat some grape nuts.
Yeah, you know what? They're delightful. They're delightful. No
They're
grapes, no nuts. I don't care.
They are quite delightful.
They're great. Gotta hate you guys.
More likely to get you in trouble with your spouse. I need some help on this. Is it an affectionate kiss by a still hot ex-girlfriend or an inappropriate hug by a hot coworker of the opposite sex?
Oh, it's the ex-girlfriend. It's not close.
I'm trying to think in my world. Oof.
I mean, either way, you're cooked.
I think the current coworker, because I think my wife knows that, like, if I've split from you, I am done with you.
I'm laying out on this one because my wife might be listening.
My wife is dead. Sick
I got
at home,
bit
so
last
I'm
week by
okay.
one of these.
Look, they're both bad.
They're both real
They're
tough.
both. You're either way. You're in a pickle.
Yeah. So which one do I claim? I need some consultation. Do I claim that this is an ex-girlfriend, or do I claim it's a coworker?
I mean, a passionate kiss from an ex-coworker. That's the thing here. Like, don't get me wrong.
It said an affectionate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
kiss.
Either way, number one, it's a kiss.
Well, you know, some of my partners I was with for many, many years and
That's
lived together, and
fine.
it's part of your life.
The
man.
coworker one,
I
like,
don't hate my wife when she talks to her ex-husband.
I'm just saying, the coworker one, you might be able to be like, you can be dumb guy and be like, it's nothing. It probably isn't because it's a hug where, you know, it stands out, as it were.
This is why I don't touch people at work.
It's a safe bet. Although I gave Jake a pat on the back when I told him that the Jets news was there. So,
Well, you're single now, though, so it's fine.
It's fine.
It flies.
Yeah, it flies. Or does that make it worse? I don't know. But yeah, no, it's for me, I mean, they're both not great, Bob. Not great, but the kiss, no.
Well, yeah, the kiss is always going to go further than a hug, no matter what it is. I mean, look how much we make fun of Tom's braids for kissing his kids on the lips. I know tons of parents that kiss their kids on the lips.
It's
like adults to adults.
I don't.
That's a bit much for me.
Yeah, it's
my bestie. His mom kisses him on the lips.
I got two girls. I kiss them on the top of the head.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head, head, cheek.
That's
yeah.
as far as it goes. Yeah. I mean, it's just weird.
Rufio needs to know if he is a psychopath for being stoked for Maction this week.
Oh no, wait, sorry.
5 straight days of Maction starting tonight.
No, if you're a sicko, you're a sicko. I mean,
Rufio is a football sicko.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
I do this with basketball. When there's a stretch of games, I'm like, oh baby, I'm lining up for this one. Let's get comfy. So no, I mean that's true sicko when it's Maction for sure. But no, that's totally passable. That's fair.
I'm very offended by the YouTube right now.
Why?
Well, I can't decide if I'm offended or if it's like a damn right. I have a feeling that Patrick's wife knows she's the best he's ever had, so I doubt she's worried. I can't tell if that's a shot at me or if, like, I mean, my wife is awesome.
Well, look, I'll tell you what.
I love my wife.
We're in the same boat there, dude.
Yeah.
I outkicked my coverage.
I've had some pretty hots.
Well, I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
All right, well.
The answer is yes. You should take it definitely both ways. It was definitely meant both ways.
For me, that was like a 91-yard punt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It happens.
A kick six? Can I
There
be
you
a
go.
thick six?
Nah.
Yeah. I can be a thick six.
Really? I'm not a thick six?
You're not a thick six.
Yes.
I mean, we did go down the Husky rankings of the station, and you were not up there all the way.
I know I'm not.
It happens.
I'm thinking of somebody who's not even in this room.
It happens.
Or that room.
Yeah. Russ is like, well, what?
Well, no, they had earlier this morning. I was listening to the boys this morning.
Dude, we really need that drop.
Yeah, we do need that. But they were talking about the line between dad bod and sexy. And I texted in and said,
I think it was dad bod and fat.
No, it was between dad bod and sexy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Which
I
is
said,
better.
I am the line between dad bod and sexy.
Look, here's the thing. Also, I've seen women describe somebody as a dad bod and they look like Chris Hemsworth. It's like, that's not a dad bod, guys.
No,
It's only if he's Fat Thor in
Yeah,
that Avengers movie.
That's a dad bod.
Dude, he's fatter than me in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So-
also asked, what was the other thing they said? If you know what your wife finds sexy,
Mhm.
right? And neither one of them could describe it.
I-
Neither one of them knew. They had no clue.
I
Like,
know-
you know what? I know what my wife finds sexy.
I know what my wife finds sexy. You know what it is?
Because I have
Me.
well, there is that, yes, of course.
She just likes me.
But I can think of 3 different dudes, actors, and they all kind of sort of fit in. Ben Affleck, Eric Bana, and Gerard Butler. Those are all like dark-haired, bearded, oily bow hunks. Ben Affleck has his
oily.
Yeah, Ben Affleck has his dad bod moments. Gerard Butler did, like back in the old what was it, law-abiding citizen days.
He also had 300.
Well, yes, but
Jacked
again,
to the gills.
I didn't say 300.
Yeah.
I said law-abiding
I know,
citizen.
I'm just saying.
Where he looks like a dad that you would find in the
Eric
pickup
Bana
line at
tried to do
school.
that in Troy, and they had him in the,
Oh, yeah.
up against Brad Pitt, was the biggest he had ever been.
Try again.
It's like, nope, that ain't gonna work. And then Orlando Bloom looked like he weighed like 120 pounds.
Try again.
It's like, nope, that ain't gonna work, dog.
Yeah,
Juiced up Brad Pitt. Now everybody talks about Brad Pitt in Fight Club. That's there was.
I always give my wife crap for watching Troy because she wants to see Brad Pitt's ass.
Yeah, but Fight Club is more kind of like methed out.
Yes,
Brad Pitt.
Yes, but Brad Pitt and Troy. Look, that
See,
was
if
that
you
was the
want-
birthplace of like, hey, what happens if we take a really hot guy in Hollywood and give him steroids?
If you want the dichotomy of hot versus hot, here's some consultation for you. It can't be Brad Pitt and Eric Bana in Troy.
No.
Those are just hots in shape. It's like, are you more attracted? You said Orlando Bloom. That's what made me think of this. Are you more attracted to Orlando Bloom in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Or Johnny Depp.
Or Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean? Because those are two different kinds of hot.
All I'm saying
One
is
guy poops on your chest and one guy's gorgeous.
all I'm saying is I'm getting compared to Eric Bana, Ben Affleck, and Gerard Butler. So
Hell yeah,
I'm feeling
brother.
pretty good.
Or you can go.
And I get Jeremy Piven, or the guy who gets a penis drawn on his face in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Jeez.
Or if you want to go the same version of them, you can go Ocean's 11 and go Brad Pitt and
That's good looking.
George Clooney.
But see, that's good looking on good looking.
It is, but
That's
it's
not.
they are two
they are
separate
kinda
types of
different.
good looking.
I would choose Pitt in that.
Look.
Yeah,
See, you go Pitt.
I'd hit that.
Look, I go Clooney.
I'd hit that.
See,
I think
see, this is how comfortable you are on this show. We talk about the things we're going through and what men are hot.
I think this is a good
God,
point
I just
coming
said
in
that
on
out
the
loud.
old fan text line 503-864-230. What your significant other considers a dad bod and fat are two very different things.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think she's happy with my dad bod.
Mm.
I'm happy with my dad bod. Mostly because, as the great Charles Barkley once said, I don't lift weights because they're heavy, and I don't work out because I get tired.
Yep.
Exactly.
Matters.
All right, when we come back, we'll hit up closing arguments and send you on your way. One little more for the road. Hang out with us, 105.1 The Fan.
We just and Meringue is wrapping up for the day,
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for being a part of our wonderful show. Closing arguments here to finish up the day. Coming up on the show tomorrow, we'll have Tyson Alger on, as we always do on Wednesday. We'll start really getting into this Oregon-Iowa game coming up. Should be a fun one. We need to talk about Ja Morant. We got to have a real serious conversation about a man that I really enjoy watching play basketball and now really don't want to watch play basketball.
And I think it ties into what has been the theme of the show, identity.
Yeah.
And who he is and who he's trying to be or who he wants to be and who he probably should be.
So that'll be on tomorrow's show. Stick around for that. I saw a report out there. I really hope I was trolled by this. So if I was, please correct me on it. There are rumors going around that Urban Meyer bombed his second interview at Penn State.
Why do you want that to not be true?
Because if I'm Penn State, I don't want Urban Meyer.
Well, yeah, but if he bombed, then that's good.
But it terrifies me.
But
that
it means that also you had him in for a second
interview. Okay,
exactly.
that's fair.
That's
fair.
what scares me.
Okay.
That's that lives in the Scott Barnes hiring Rob Akey kind of timeline.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, ugh.
Yeah, considering what
Herb can't coach anymore. We're done with Herb.
Yeah.
Are we not done with Herb?
Yeah.
I mean, we should be.
Yeah,
We
but
should be. I mean, the way that Jacksonville went, we should be.
college is different than from the NFL, and his success is always going to be a success.
He got
whether it's
booted out of Jacksonville because he kicked his kicker.
I know. I'm just saying again. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying why they would do it. He was at Bowling Green, and then to Utah, and then to Florida,
Everywhere.
and then to Ohio State.
Beat Bama in a New Year's Six bowl.
Yeah.
2 natties at Florida, and a natty at Ohio State.
With a murderer, by the way.
Yeah.
And a Heisman Trophy winner on the way.
Yeah.
In Tim Tebow, maybe the greatest quarterback in college football history.
So, yeah, those guys get those chances. They do.
Yeah.
By the way, we want to, that's why. I don't think he necessarily should, but I'm also of the mind of if he was to clean up what he was, then, but there is a responsibility that comes along with that, and sometimes you lose the ability to earn that responsibility anymore.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of these coaches hired yet until one of the domino falls. I wonder who will be the first domino to fall. Not because I don't necessarily think it's the best job, because what is the best job right now? Is LSU the best job? LSU's the best job, okay? Now, there might be other openings coming down the line, but I don't know if LSU will be necessarily the first one to fall in the job domino. Because I have no idea who's going to do what.
No.
I really have no idea.
It feels like there's almost like a stare down.
There's a lot of rumor, the Jed Fish to Florida or to UCLA, Yeah, there's
or
those
Dilly to LSU.
Yeah, there's those rumors out there, but I don't know if I believe any of them.
No.
Who's the rumor at Penn State? Because it's not Sig and it's not Rule.
I have not heard it.
Right.
After those guys got out of there, because there was the Lane Kiffin thing for him. I was like, it doesn't feel right. Yeah, no, that's a weird one. You have these preeminent coaching jobs that are open, and nothing really makes a ton of sense.
What's his name at Louisville? What if they sign him to an extension?
Brom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he wants to be there. He's from there.
Yeah.
He had already left once and came back. I could see him staying.
Vandy's not losing their coach. Georgia Tech's not losing their coach.
I mean, Rule got the extension.
Arizona State's not losing their coach. I don't think Dilly's leaving anywhere.
I don't either. But the fact that it actually had seemingly real smoke definitely raised an eyebrow.
Yeah.
Definitely raised an eyebrow.
This got texted in earlier, and someone's doing it right now. Brian Hartline to Penn State. Boy, somebody said it about Michigan and how funny that would be. Maybe, yeah. I mean, if defensive coordinators can jump like that in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but I mean, Hartline's an Ohio State guy through and through. I don't see him
is that
going to
be big enough for
It's just I just don't see like Chris Peterson decides to leave UW for Oregon. Like I don't see that.
Sure.
Chris Peterson leaves UW for USC. That kind of like, are they better jobs than UW? Yeah, maybe not at the time, but yeah, they're better jobs on a whole. But I don't see that jump in conference like that.
On the
Ole
whole,
Miss to
Preparation
Alabama?
H feels good.
Ole Miss to Alabama? That's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't see that.
No.
God, Ole Miss would hate him if he did it too.
Oh God, yes. Fiery passion of 1,000
See,
suns.
I don't think Lane's going anywhere.
But
either,
also,
man.
Lane's been prone to do that before.
I hope people just say, you know what, I'm not coaching LSU. I hope everybody just decides I'm not doing this.
I honestly hope Lane stays at Ole Miss and doesn't go to LSU or Florida. I hope that he stays there.
Becomes a lifer. Ole Miss
and
lifer.
just makes it his thing.
Win 10,
Why not?
11 games every year and then be what we were talking about, be in the playoff every year.
Every single year. If Ole Miss wins 10 games every year, they will be in the playoff every year. One of those years, they're going to win 2 games and be in a natty.
And because I think with
and then all bets are off.
Yeah, I think with all the NIL and everything, and maybe this year is a one-off, but everything just feels different now.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
And that's kind
do
of
we go back to that next year?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
but-
kind of what I'm alluding to. Like, are these jobs that much better now? Now that the world has changed, is LSU that much better of a job than Ole Miss?
Yes.
But right now we did.
Because Lane's got quote unquote less than Florida and LSU, and he's running circles around
But
them.
when you have more and you do that, that's when we get title winners.
But the pressure
But,
comes
but
on,
look,
though.
and guess what? Brian Kelly couldn't go down there and do it.
It's true. But also, not only how many title winning coaches do we have right now, how many schools in the last 20 years have won titles? How many schools?
It's not many.
It's a short list, man.
It's Florida, LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson.
If you
But
count,
again,
if you
I
count
think
USC in theirs, but yeah, that's,
But again, I think
For the last 15 years,
No, I said
there's
20.
no USC.
No,
Oh,
I
20?
think it's
Yeah.
different now.
Then, yeah, I mean, I think the only thing we add is USC.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
it.
I'm missing anybody
No,
else.
that's what
Texas.
I mean. Yeah, that
Yeah.
it's a short list. That's why those jobs matter more. We can all talk about, well, what about Oregon or what about Utah or what those teams that get close, that get real close.
Yeah.
Boise State.
Yeah.
Nobody's done it yet. Nobody's done it yet.
To be fair, Boise State never got that close.
But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the
They
team
were in the
that-
playoff last year.
But that's my point. Like nobody has no matter what era it is, nobody has managed to get over that. And that's the thing is, who's going to be the first?
All right, closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. That's going to do it for us. Ducks Insider is next. We hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday. For Danny Meringue, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.